What is up, Raptors Digest? What's up, and welcome back. We got a game right now versus the San Antonio Spurs, who has been a closely linked organization with Toronto ever since the Kawhi Leonard DeMar DeRozan trade. Speak of which, our guy DeMar is climbing up in the MVP ladder. Crazy stuff going on right now with the Bulls, but tonight we got an opportunity to get back to 500 at a 17-17 record against the Spurs, who are on a 3-game losing skid on the road in Toronto, our home, which we desperately need to protect, and we've been doing a better job of. This should be a fun game tonight. And as you can see, I have my bets. Scotty Barnes over 14.5 points. I hit on his points line last game, and I went right back to it for a few reasons. But the main reason is Scotty Barnes on his Instagram story today, he said, get the ball to 4. So I'm going to get the ball to 4. I'm putting my money on 4 tonight. Scotty Barnes, hoping the rookie can come up big versus San Antonio. Next up, Jakob Poeltl to get a double-double. Opposing centers, especially when they're 7 feet tall, tend to have pretty good nights against us. And, I mean, Jakob was traded from our team. The X-team factor definitely weighs in on some gambling. I had to go with this one. I don't like betting on opposing players, but I am a fan of Yak. I think he's big-time underrated. And we'll see what he can do tonight. Scotty Barnes flying in with the offensive rebound. Gary Trent Jr. gets to the rack, but does not get the bucket to go. He needs to bounce back, man. Gary Trent Jr. needs it bad. But I already see Tom Moreau in the chat. We got Hoops God popping in. Tom Duke in the building. Matty Maru. Man, we just got some legends out here already. Genfro, ACAT. The list goes on, bro. We already have everybody out here. I really appreciate you guys. I was on a phone call with Marcel Martin before coming onto this stream, and we were talking about that heated point guard debate on last stream where we were trying to say, is Steph Curry the best point guard of all time? I don't want to unpack all of that debate right now, but he was making some compelling cases to say a guy like Jerry West might deserve it more. We don't need to go down the road yet. We got a Raptors game on, but that was a debate that was really alive and well in the chat all of last game. But right now, I am focused on this Raptors team getting back to 500 and honing in on a potential play-in appearance. I think it'd be really good for this team's character development, even if they don't end up winning it or end up advancing past the first round with a win. I just like what it would do for our overall level of experience and just helping us build towards a more winning culture in the future. Scotty Barnes already coming out of the game. Currently, we got Pascal, Gary, Kem Birch, Fred, and OG Anunoby in. Fred VanVleet trying to make an all-star case right now, guys. He hit a 3 right there. First shot of the game for the Raptors. You love to see it. Pascal Siakam gets fouled. Tom Moreau saying he's got like 10 bets. You got to let us know, Tom. Last game we hit on Fred VanVleet, first basket scored in the game, plus 500. That was sweet. I normally don't gamble those lines, but I don't know. I had a gut feeling, ended up paying off. Actually, I won't lie. My friend told me, should I bet this? And when I heard Fred VanVleet first basket, something about it clicked that day. We ended up taking it and cashing. You guys know the drill. If you want our bets, check out Twitter beforehand. I always post them there. White with the ball. Misses. Oh, I believe that's Forbes, actually. Rebounded by Anunoby, though. Raptors are coming the other way. I got to get the scoreboard live on the screen. I always forget about that for a second, but there we go. Score is live on the screen now. Gary Trent Jr. cuts, hands it off to Kem Birch. Misses the floater in the mid-range there. That's his shot. You know, everyone misses one, but get that out of the way with early. We need him making those. Wow, and I believe that's Forbes coming back the other way with another bucket. Fred VanVleet in the paint right now, surveying, seeing what his options are. Oh, it looks like Scotty Barnes is getting ready to already come back into this game. Wow, and Jakob Poeltl there with the rebound. I hate to do this, guys, but Jakob Poeltl, if you can go get me my money tonight, I will be happy. Let me know what your bets in the chat. I got to know. And we got Marcel Martin coming through with the early super chat. He's saying, Scary Gary, drop 30 tonight. This man needs to bounce back. I bet on him last game to come out and have a bounce back performance. He didn't do it. He ended up with like 5 points, something ridiculous like that. But Gary's overdue. Marcel is making that point, and I completely agree. If he can go get those points tonight, I will feel pretty good about this team's depth and about us getting back to 500. We got that opportunity right now, and the Spurs are on a losing skid on the road. Man, take advantage, and right on cue, as Marcel says it, we got Gary Trent Jr. hitting the 3. I got the scoreboard blocked off on my live TV here, though the one on my screen's a bit delayed, but Raptors, I think, down by a little bit, but Gary Trent Jr. knocking that 3. And there we go, 10-8 the score. Raptors are trailing by a single bucket. And if you guys are in here right now, drop a like spike nice and early, help out the channel. It's always appreciated. And Tom Moreau pointing out that Yuta Watanabe is out tonight. I wonder what's going on with Yuta. Interesting. Not sure what's going on with Yuta Watanabe, but that is unfortunate. He's not in the lineup tonight. He's been a great piece off the bench for the main stretch of the season, probably even to this very moment. Our bench was like bottom 3 in offensive production in the NBA, whereas the starters were top 3. And I was making all kinds of crazy proposals on how to even that out. But ultimately, at the end of the day, having Yuta Watanabe come back in and help be a spark plug off the bench, that was always noticeable. We're going to miss him on defense and a little bit on offense. Yuta Watanabe's been knocking down open threes. I know it's crazy. He doesn't really have a whole lot of arc on his shot, but he's been dialed in. I got to give Yuta Watanabe his credit. He's been a nice refresher for the Raptors after sitting out the majority of the season with an injury early on, and it sucks he's back on the IR, but we'll see how that story develops. I'll keep close to any news updates there. Oh, apparently it's COVID, according to Andy in the chat. I might be taking this comment out of context, but it might be COVID protocols keeping out Yuta Watanabe right now. Whatever it is, I really hope it's not serious. Everybody in Raptors Nation loves Yuta Watanabe. Sen Bimmon saying, Gary getting his confidence early is good for sure. He's a confidence guy, and as much as, like, you know, shooters got to heat up, get the ball rolling, Gary Trent Jr., I like that when he's having an off night, he still shoots it. Like, he's open, he's taking it. That's what great shooters are ultimately going to do. You know, what's that old expression? I'd rather go 0 for 33 than 0 for 16, because 0 for 16 meant you stopped shooting. I'm butchering that completely, and I forget who said it. But the ideology there that, you know, if you believe in yourself, even if you had a rough game, have a short memory and take every shot like it's the first one of the game. You're trying to make everything. And I think Gary Trent Jr. definitely goes out with that mindset of not caring what he misses. He trusts himself, and I trust him too. He's one of the most natural offensive players we have on this roster. So shouts out Gary. He just hit a three-pointer. Hopefully he can keep the ball rolling tonight. So Tom Duke coming in saying Tom Moreau saying Svi's out for some reason as well. And then Tom Duke's clarifying here that Yuta and Svi are in the COVID bin, 5 days minimum. And then Marcel Martin saying, we need shooters with that level of confidence. Yes, we do. And I'm happy Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr. both seem to have that ingrained, who the hell cares? You know, if I miss, I am still taking the next one. And you got to respect that attitude on a shooter. And both those guys get the job done well for us, but especially so recently with VanVleet. So White has the ball here. Gets it to Keldon Johnson. That's a player that I actually like a lot. I don't watch a whole lot of them. I mean, San Antonio's kind of got, like, I don't want to say boring basketball, but they don't draw a ton of viewership. However, Keldon Johnson's a player that I do kind of keep tabs on. I like his game. OG Anunoby with the ball here. The Spurs scored on last possession. Fred VanVleet pump fakes, gets the ball back. Oh, offensive foul by Khem Birch. Kind of runs over White there. Shayar asking, did you see Nick Nurse on the JJ podcast? I didn't actually. I'd love to see that. JJ Redick's a pretty articulate guy, and Nick Nurse he's cool to talk to. I find Nick Nurse isn't a smooth speaker, but he says very interesting, calculated things. Kind of like Elon Musk, where you hear Elon talk and he's just pausing every other second, kind of like stuttering a little bit. But when you process what he actually said, it's brilliant. Same kind of deal with Nick Nurse. The Elon Musk of basketball, dare I say it. OG Anunoby with a big rebound and the putback bucket. That's good for the Raptors. They're running back on defense right now. I need to stop cutting off the scoreboard on the TV because mine takes so long to upload. Oh, wow. The and one for Pirtle. Jeez. He's a great center. I think it was Tom Moreau in the chat put it down earlier. Wouldn't it be so nice to have Jakob Poeltl right now? And the answer to that is yes. Jakob or JV. Any of the past 2 starting centers on the Raptors, to get either of those guys back would be insane. Actually, I think Yak might have came off the bench behind Serge for most of his time. But at this point in his career, bona fide starter, Jakob Poeltl is quietly one of like the best centers in the NBA, especially defensively. And then JV, that he can play at an all-star level. We definitely miss him. We sold our souls. We definitely did that. I'm not going to deny it. But it ended up with a championship banner that is hanging there to this moment. And Gary Trent Jr. trying to hang another. Going out there, knocking down a three-pointer. I believe he's 2 of 2 from the three-point line tonight. So a nice change from what has been a very bad slump for Gary. Hoping he can break out tonight. Marcel Martin saying he's getting 30. We'll stay tuned for that. But White responds with a three-pointer of his own. What's the score right now? It's 18-13 for San Antonio. 5-point lead. OG turns around, takes the mid-range J. Misses that. Kemberich is fighting for it, but Jakob Poeltl secures the rebound. And guys, I'm a Raptors fan, but I knew Jakob was going to be eating on the glass tonight, which is why I made that double-double bet. Let's see. It's plus 450. That's a pretty hefty return if this thing can hit. OG, that's beautiful ball movement in transition. Kicks it out to Gary. Finds Scotty. Shoot that. I love when Scotty Barnes shoots threes, but he misses, and it's rebounded by Yak. I can live with that. That's Bryn Forbes. Is that? No, it's not Forbes right there. Is Forbes out right now? White has the ball. There we go. Sorry, there's Forbes. And then Forbes ends up getting the bucket there. I don't know why I was mixing up White and Forbes. That makes no sense whatsoever. Sounding like a casual out here. But Fred VanVleet on Keldon Johnson. The circus shot goes. Freddie V, man. That is a complete circus shot. Paint penetration, gets the bucket with the, not the harm, but a lot of physical contact there. Freddie finding a way to finish. That was a shot there was no way early in his career he was making, but Fred VanVleet has gotten a lot more crafty in the paint and found a way to be effective scoring in there. Ooh, okay, that cross move was sweet, but does not finish, man. Fred VanVleet had him on skates and blows the layup. Oh, man. Man. That's a couple nice possessions there in a row for Fred VanVleet. Only converts on the first one there, and Raptors are holding onto the ball, though. Kemberich ended up getting the rebound, and then I think it went out off of a San Antonio player. And Fred VanVleet from 3 cashes it, man. Freddie V. All right, I might need to keep the flames on the whole game for Fred, because this is wild. What a start for him in the first quarter. He's just, I don't even know stat-wise. He might only Okay, I think we're back. Oh my gosh, man. What a circus right now. What just happened? Guys, look, I am so sorry if you're hearing this right now. My computer just completely shut down. I see people in the chat saying Walmart internet. This is just a Walmart laptop, I guess, because it just completely crapped out on me. Well, that sucks. My bad, guys. I hope you guys can still hear me or see me. I'll look in the chat right now. I'm trying to get the scoreboard back. I think we're good right now. Someone, okay, Susie letting me know that I'm coming through now. I've never had that happen. My computer completely just shut down in the middle of a live. I think it's because someone tried to FaceTime me. Don't get any ideas. It will crash my computer. But yeah, that's that's unfortunate. Anyways, I'm happy to be back right now. Praying that doesn't happen again. Score is officially fixed and back up there. Okay, that was a brief little hiatus. Fanfiction Pop-Tart letting me know we're all good. ACAT confirming as well. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. What a weird, twisted series of events that was, because I've never had that happen before. And I'm not so techie, so as soon as my computer screen shut off, it even made a little like weird noise, like it was glitching. I thought we were done. I thought that this might have ruined the stream for the night, but thankfully we're back up right now, and I'm happy that all you guys stuck around, helped me get through this, letting me know that we're coming back through, and yeah. Tom Moreau asking me if I'm cold. Nah, Tom, it's just a bad hair day. I can't have the lettuce out at the moment. And I also have to rock the brand. We got our merch on right now too. If you guys want some of your own, go check it out on the YouTube store. There's items available to buy right there. So in the chat, Laserbot's asking, did DJ Wilson get re-signed? And Tom Moreau is confirming that no, DJ Wilson did not get re-signed. And I got to say, it does not surprise me that DJ's walking from this team right now, because as much as he was a pleasant surprise, we definitely boosted his stock, which is a nice redeeming thing out of all this, but we just don't really need him. I mean, we don't need another 6'9" guy who's like serviceable. We already have Precious Achua, who does a lot of good things around that height. Pascal Siakam's sort of around the same height as DJ Wilson, does a lot of good things. Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby. Like, we don't need another borderline forward center type. It's just, there's no point in getting it. I think the next big acquisition that we'll make room for is hopefully a 7-footer. But DJ Wilson was a feel-good story. We're not going to hook him up with a contract like we did with Freddie Gillespie, but I'm sure some other team in the NBA will give him an opportunity because of how good he looked with the Raptors. DJ Wilson was my favorite player there for a while, but wishing him the best wherever he ends up, but not surprised Masai and the crew let him go. Spurs with the ball right now. Gary's looking good on defense. He's just overall looking nice tonight. I'm hoping this is the rebound performance for him. And then a putback. I do not know the Spurs roster well enough. Van Vliet with the ball. Hands it off to Scotty Barnes. You know I got the scoring bet on Scotty tonight. Takes a three. Just misses it. Spurs bring it back the other way. Fanfiction Pops Art asking, hey Josh, when was the last time you had an iced coffee? It's been a while. It was my routine. Oh, okay. I got to cut off what I'm saying for a second here. Fred Van Vliet, he cannot stop making shots at the moment. He is all over it, knocking down threes, getting circus shots to go in the paint. He just adds another three-pointer right there. That's a big bucket for Toronto. Shout out Fred Van Vliet. But Fanfiction Pop Tart, I haven't been drinking the iced coffees late for games that much. I've been trying to be really good with my sleep schedule. And when I crush coffees late at night watching sports games, I usually end up staying up way too late. Ugly morning. You know how it goes. But, Chris Boucher runs the court to try to get the loose ball. Can't grab it. San Antonio's got it now. And is that Keldon Johnson? It is. Ends up getting a tough layup. That was good defense by Scotty Barnes. Letting him feel the body a bit there under the rim, but ultimately Keldon Johnson gets it to go for the Spurs. Fred Van Vliet, that's a nice mid-range. Misses and gets his own offensive rebound, but fumbles it. Ends up again with the Spurs. Good hustle by Freddie, though. Oh, good job, Chris. He's done a 180. I'm very happy with Chris Boucher recently. Ooh, ugly shot there, but he gets fouled. He'll be going to the line to shoot too. Guys, if you survived our first ever Raptors Digest live outage, go ahead and do me a favor. Drop a like spike in the chat. The animations aren't even working properly right now. There we go. If you guys are seeing this, dropping a like spike helps out a ton. You guys are the best. Trying to make sure nothing funky happens still. That was so weird. I don't know why that happened. All right, hopefully we're all good now. But Raptors in a close one with the Spurs here. We've been on a really good stretch. I think we've won 7 of our past 11 games, something to that note. So we've turned things around. And it was to be expected with a kind of new team, very young. It was going to take some time to figure out chemistry. But the Raptors seem to be doing just exactly that. And it's largely off of Fred Van Vliet's leadership that these rookies have been learning and developing. So I got to give him big time kudos. A nice steal. Great anticipation there by Anunoby. Raptors come the other way. It's with Van Vliet. Oh, the alley-oop. Doesn't get it, but that's a good loose ball foul there. Precious Achua is going to be shooting 2 at the line. Tom Moreau saying Trent and a first and a protected first for Ben Simmons. So 2 first-round picks, one of which is protected, and Gary Trent to Philadelphia for Ben Simmons. I think they want a playmaker to come back. I think they would want Van Vliet or just anybody else from another team that can play make a bit better than Gary Trent Jr. because Gary doesn't get a whole ton of assists, and that's what they really need. They have guys that can go get buckets. I would do it because, who are we kidding? Even though Ben Simmons is like a meme, he's also a really great NBA player, top-notch defensively, gifted vision, can score, although not from 3. There's a lot of things that I like about Ben Simmons, and I would do that deal, but I think Philly's looking for a guy who can play make and be like the future point guard of that group, which is why I think most of the trade talks they've had have at least involved Fred Van Vliet at some point. And no way that's an over and back. There is no. Scotty Barnes was fully over. Give me a replay on that. There is no way. Okay, and then you're kidding me. How is that even close? Wow. Okay, a complete gimme possession here for the Spurs. What the heck? Okay, so we're already on the refs at this time. Oh man, I awesome. And Fred VanVleet putting the pressure on Jones there, forcing him to turn over the ball out of bounds, ends right back with the Raptors. You love to see that. The basketball gods are looking over the guys tonight. And here we go. Gary Trent Jr. checks back in. It looks like Chris Boucher is coming out of the game. All right, man. Marcel Martin said scary Gary for 30 tonight. Let's see if that happens. Fred VanVleet misses the deep three. And that is the end of the first quarter, guys. The final score, I'm trying to look and see it. I cannot. I think it might be 30-29. Not a bad first quarter. I mean, the Spurs scored more than you want to see. But they also scored on some pretty tough looks. All in all, I think the Raptors had a good quarter. I mean, they're going to need to figure it out down the stretch, of course. I always say we tend to open pretty good. We tend to close pretty good. It's that, the second and more so the third quarter that kind of bites us. And just speaking on stats here, I saw some 5 things to look for going into the game. I believe it was on an article from The Score, but I screenshot it because I thought some of these points were pretty interesting to go over, just as kind of, idle things to fill this airtime. But seriously, this is quite interesting. So the Raptors' Fred VanVleet is one of just 6 players in the NBA averaging 20 plus, 6 plus assists, and 5 plus rebounds this season. Fred VanVleet, he is an all-star, bro. I got to put on the flames for Freddie V. We're making the case. We're pushing the narrative. Fred VanVleet needs to be an all-star this season. That would be so good for his career and just for the whole complexion of this season. I'm really pushing for that to happen. I think he deserves it. Toronto has out-rebounded their opponents in 3 straight games. I mean, for a team that doesn't have a 7-footer, you love to see that. For a team that really struggled with rebounding the ball all of last season in Tampa, to be in that exclusive category now, or exclusive category, we've been out-rebounding teams consistently, and we're on a 3-game stretch of doing so. I'm very happy with that development for the team. And I got to say, even though he's a rookie, a lot of that is Scotty Barnes too. Chris Boucher waking up a little bit. All these things have been helping out huge. Toronto is 0-5 at home when trailing after the first period. I think we're trailing after the first period. I shouldn't have read that out loud. I'm double taking. So that's awkward. Anyways, next point. The Spurs are 6-6 versus East teams this season and 2-2 versus East teams on the road. Okay, so that's interesting. And then the Spurs are 7-0 on the road when leading after the third period. Okay, so after reading this list of things to look for in the game, there's 2 things that really stand out to me. Number 1, Toronto is 0-5 at home when trailing after the first period. That's kind of scary because I believe we're down 30-29 at the moment. And then the Spurs are 7-0 on the road when leading after the third period. And the third period, or we should say quarter, that's the proper way to go. But the third quarter is really where the Raptors have had a ton of struggles, as I was saying earlier in this live stream. And apparently, if the Spurs manage to lead after that third period, I mean, they're pretty much good when playing on the road. So that's something we got to make sure doesn't happen because one of these things already has happened tonight. But the Raptors are about to break that streak. They're going to win after losing the first quarter at home. I'm not too worried. We got to get to 500, and they know it. And finally, a full healthy lineup. This is like the first time this season we've had that. I know you know Yuta Watanabe, unfortunate, no Svi Mikhailuk, but the starters are all here, and that's been rare for us this year. Scotty Barnes with the ball. He's got it in the high post. Nice little smooth jump shot, misses, gets his own offensive board. As I was saying, man, he's got the putback. Don't sleep on Scotty Barnes' ability to get up there on the glass and make a difference. Oh, and disrupting things on defense too. Raptors get the ball back. Pascal Siakam bringing it up the court. He's going right down into the middle of the defense. Doesn't get the bucket, but gets the harm. He'll be shooting too. All right, guys, if you're watching this right now, do me a favor, drop a like spike. I don't know why that other animation keeps popping up too. But you guys are the best. Damn, okay, Stephen Keenan. I'm scrolling back in the chat just to make sure I didn't miss anything too important. Jakob Poeltl already has 7 points and 7 rebounds. Okay, man. That double-double bet is looking okay. And I hate to bet on opposing players, but A, he is a former Toronto Raptor, which makes me feel a little bit better about it. I'm obviously going to keep cheering for him. I like Yak. And then also, 7-footers always do numbers against Toronto, and Jakob Poeltl's quietly having a really good season. It felt like a a smart money move. It was the good investment to make. So you guys can see my bets. They're on the left-hand corner of the screen. Scotty Barnes points, double-double for Jakob Poeltl, plus 450 through Bet365. You guys let me know your bets in the chat. White misses, and then it's rebounded by Boucher. I am so happy to see Chris figuring it out. So happy. I mean, it's been overdue, but better late than never. He's in a contract year. OG misses the three. It's rebounded there by the Spurs, who go for the alley-oop. They miss it. And then, Precious Achiuwa getting the big block there on defense. Flames are coming on for the defensive play. And it ultimately, that sucks. The Flames got to come off quickly. Raptors turn over the ball, and it ends up with the Spurs, who get the bucket. Scotty Barnes trying to direct the offense a little bit here. Gives it to OG. Then it ends up back to Scotty. Fumbles the ball. What's he going to do? I feel like he's going to shoot a three. He doesn't. Goes into the high post. Nice. Doesn't settle at all. And gets fouled. So that was a pretty ugly miss there, but he would have collected his own rebound had he not been fouled. Either way, Scotty Barnes going to the line, having a really big physical interior presence tonight. I love to see that from the rookie. And Tom Duke saying he's wearing his OG's hoodie. I gotta get the Flames on for that. If you guys haven't got your merch yet, check it out. I'm wearing mine right now. And as much as, it's fire, you want to rep the Raptors Digest brand, it's actually comfy and fits well too. I'm not just saying that. But you guys are the best for all supporting us. And go ahead and check it out down below if you haven't already. Tom Rose saying he's bald, so no more bad hair days and no more paying for haircuts. There you go. My old man's bald, so I gotta be careful. You guys let me know right now. Am I in trouble with my hairline? I think I'm good. I think we're all right. I have times of being scared, but for the most part, I think we're good. You guys let me know. If I have any hairdressers in there, you let me know if I got to get on Rogaine. Spurs score. What's it? Okay, so 35-33. The Raptors are up. I can't block the scoreboard on the TV. It's where I always get my live scores from because, as I said, the scoreboard I pull from Google can be a little bit slow updating. But anyways, Raptors leading by a bucket right now. Ends up a offensive foul, I believe. Anyways, Jakob Poeltl will be inbounding the ball to White here, and the Spurs will be bringing it back on offense. Don't know why that happened. There's Devin Vassell leaving the game. Or no, he's entering right now. He was a rookie last year. A lot of hype. He's a guy who's sort of similar to Tyrese Halliburton. Was supposed to go super early. Big-time skill player, but ended up dropping down a little bit. He's been good for the Spurs. I don't think great, but good. They've been just sort of overall a pretty average organization recently, even though right now I think they're like 14-21. Yeah, big things need to happen here. I'm also not a big Greg Popovich guy, to be completely honest, but we'll get into that topic later. Tie game right now at 35. Scotty Barnes has the ball. Chris Boucher sets the pick, but Scotty passes it over to Pascal Siakam, who shoots the three and gets it to go. Pascal Siakam, get that man out of your mouth. He does not deserve any disrespect. You guys should be saying that to me. But Pascal's been playing huge, knocking down a three, showing some versatility, flirting with a triple-double the other night too. He's just had an all-around game. This whole team is finally finding its rhythm, and thankfully it hasn't been that long into the season. They've worked hard, and you got to give Nick Nurse his credit too. Everyone was questioning Nick Nurse very early on, which I think was the first time we've collectively done that. Oh, the blown dunk there, but to collect the rebound, I hate to do it, guys. I got to put the reigning money down because my guy, Jakob Poeltl, with another rebound and putback, he might already be at a double-double. It was a money move, strictly money. Precious Achiuwa misses that three-pointer. Wow, he was pretty contested there, but Precious has those nights where he can shoot a lot of threes. Or when I say a lot of threes, he can confidently take multiple ones, which, a lot of centers his age, and kind of just Precious doesn't have great hands, but still, he's not a bad shooter if he's open at three. I really hope he can turn into the Serge Ibaka for this team in the future, coming off the bench. But I keep saying that. Until I manifest it into a reality, I'm going to keep saying it. And shouts out the 70 live viewers we got right now. You guys are the best. And what? This thing keeps glitching. I don't know if it's coming up over the stream, but anytime I do any kind of animation, it goes to the waiting screen for a split second. Kind of getting under my skin, but appreciate you guys tuning in. We got Marcel Martin in the chat reminding us he is the bald Mamba. Ethan in the chat's asking for Scotty Barnes' stats. I'll pull them up right now because I do have that bet on Scotty, so I'm curious myself. I have the points bet. He put on his Instagram story today for anyone who might have missed it saying, get the ball to 4. Anytime he posts something kind of peculiar on his Instagram, I always have to tail it with the bets. It's just the forces of the universe speaking to each other. So Scotty Barnes at the moment, he has 4 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Scotty Barnes triple-double? Is that what's cooking up? I guess we'll see. For fouls right now at the moment, he has no personal fouls either. He's got every reason to keep playing a lot of minutes. Let's see what happens. I would love for Scotty Barnes to pick up a couple triple-doubles as a rookie. And I said this a few streams ago. I said that give it a little while. Oh, Jakob Poeltl with a nice bucket. I said it. Give it a little while. Scotty Barnes will be our team leader, franchise leader in the record books for triple-doubles. No doubt in my mind. I think he's that kind of player. Champagny gets open for the 3. Gets it to go. That was beautiful. Hold on, guys. I got to get the flames on. That was gorgeous. Off-ball movement. Wow, he notices his defender goes to help. He immediately backtracks to the 3-point line and hits it. Oh, and Jakob Poeltl with another bucket, but great job from the rookie Justin Champagny there. I'm happy to see him playing and making the most of it. And Gary shoots the 3, misses it. Loose ball foul against the Raptors. It'll be Spurs ball going the other way. A-Cat saying, yep, I miss Poeltl. It's official, LOL. Man, even when he was in Toronto, he was so good. I know he was just a rookie. I think we had him coming off the bench behind Serge there for the first couple of seasons of his career, at least. Probably his whole time in Toronto, actually. But he's quietly like a top 10 center in the NBA. At least top 15. But he is like right up there, and no one really takes note of it. Oh, nice little interior pass to Siakam in the post. Catching the mismatch there. I believe that's a rookie. Who is that again? I think he's even Canadian. I should not be blanking on this, but Siakam getting the bucket on the rookie in the paint, and it was a nice interior pass by Van Vliet. And then Gary Trent Jr., great defense, leading it up. Fred Van Vliet shoots the 3, gets it to go, man. Oh, what an electric second quarter right now. This is hype, guys. Fred Van Vliet's locked in. The whole team's turning defense into offense. That was just a big theme from last game, and it's carried into tonight. They want to get back to 500. Oh, great play, but that's whistled down. Justin Champagny picking up the foul, but nothing easy. I like that as the policy. Even if you're going to foul someone, make sure they don't get the bucket. No, nothing easy. That's just the memo, the rules to live by on defense. And Justin Champagny making a good effort there, but ultimately called for the foul. I thought he could have got a clean block on that, but Spurs will be shooting too. And I got to figure out what's going on with my animations, guys. This is weird. I don't know why it's doing this. Yeah, okay, so the animations are like kind of broken at the moment. I've been testing them out here and nothing's popping up. So I apologize for less visual elements. Maybe I'll ramble even extra for this live stream, but yeah, the OBS is not working at the moment, at least not fully. I'll try it again later this game, but for anyone who was in here very early for the stream, they saw it completely crash on me. I have no clue why that is. I just have a standard MacBook. Never really had that issue before. I know Ben has, but I've never had it. That was my first time having it crash down, but I appreciate you guys sticking around and helping me figure out what's going on. Tom Duke says, I got to be a little honest. I am jealous of Justin Champagny's hair. He's got a fro going. I know Scotty at one point too had like some pretty crazy hair as well. But then I think Delano's been talking to him and got him to put it into those braids. I think Scotty looks tough in the braids. I like them. But Justin Champagny, he's got like almost like the sideshow bob hair a little bit. There's a lot of it. That's for sure. So Fanfiction Pop-Tart saying he's just popping back into the chat. He wants to know how my bets are going. So Fanfiction, right now at the moment, Scotty Barnes has 4 points, but get this. 5 rebounds and 4 assists to go with it. I don't want to be like screwing with any of the superstitious people in here. I'll knock on some wood for you guys. Are we looking at a Scotty Barnes triple-double tonight? Stay tuned. And then my other bet, Jakob Poeltl, the double-double. I think he might already have it. Let me see. So Pirtle's got 11 points, 8 rebounds. I don't care. I'm not going to jinx it. I think that one's money in the bank. That one is done. Barring something crazy happening to him, I hope it doesn't, like an injury or whatever, he should get that line. 2 more rebounds does it. So let's hold out on that one, but that should be good, and that would cash a plus 450 parlay if it hit, which is a pretty nice return. Check out the bets on Twitter beforehand if you guys aren't already, and toss your bets into the chat. Joseph saying, bro, for some reason, Scotty slacks when he braids up. I haven't really noticed that, actually. Maybe. I know that he had that little bit of a lull there, probably, 10 games into the season or 8 games in. He stopped scoring as much, and it was probably about 10 games in. And people were like, oh, man, is he coming back down to earth? Is he not going to be a Rookie of the Year candidate? He got sort of leapfrogged by Mobley, and even at times, I think, Cunningham. But now he's gotten right back to it. And it's been like this for a while. But yeah, he did have a little bit of a lull there. And it might have been when he first got braided up. I don't know. Either way, I like the look of it. It looks tough. I know that he had the braids when he flipped Jared Allen, going for that loose ball. People who know, that was a sweet highlight. It might not be like a basketball-related play, but you can just tell Scotty is so strong. It was after the whistle. He like flipped Jared Allen trying to get the ball out of his hands. He's a beast. An absolute beast. Oh, smart play by Gary Trent Jr. Was going to fall out of bounds, but ends up volleying the ball off of a Spurs defender. It's going to stay with the Raptors for that reason. Crafty, weaselly little play by Gary Trent Jr. Okay, if you guys don't follow Gary Trent Sr. on Instagram, he's posting some foul content, like pretty hilarious, but foul stuff. He's a good follow. I highly recommend. Just some PG content. Van Vliet throws it down to Champagny in the corner, gets it to go. He was supposed to be a 3-and-D guy. This is what I expected, and here he is. My Flames are working. He brought them back to life, heating up things right now. The rookie, Justin Champagny for the Raptors. The score is 50-42, Toronto leading. Okay, and who's that Canadian rookie on the Spurs? I bet you the chat said it. Siakam outlets up the floor to Gary Trent Jr., big exaggerated Euro step, doesn't get it to go, but he'll be shooting too. He ends up fouled. And I love that. Justin Champagny might not have gotten to play anything there because of the foul, but he runs the whole floor, gets the rebound, tries to dunk it. I don't know. I love his hustle right now. Justin Champagny doing all the right things, especially off ball. Watch this kid off ball. He's acing the IQ test and knocking down open threes and playing hard defense. I love it. I love it. He had great numbers in college. Really underrated. Okay, and Marlon Toby, he's saying that's Josh Primo. That is, yeah. So that's, I believe he's from Toronto area. I know I see North Pole Hoops always posting about him, but Josh Primo on the Spurs, Canadian rookie, supposed to be pretty good. Like crazy athletic stats when you look at his combine. We'll see. I think the Spurs might have found a pretty good player in him. Pretty sure he's already had like a couple 20-point games, but I could be incorrect there. Nice rebound there, Kem Birch. Fighting off Jakob Poeltl. I need him to get 2 more rebounds, but I'm not too worried about that. And Siakam, wow. He's been a Swiss Army knife on offense. Typically, I've been tough on Siakam. Who am I kidding? You guys who watch this know that I am like branded as just a Siakam hater, but I'm giving the man his flowers. He's played great. Like, just every kind of criticism I had of him, he's been helping to resurrect, or not resurrect, but put to rest, really. And I'm so happy to see it because I love Pascal as a player, person. And Fred Van Vliet, knocking down the mid-range. You're going to leave him open like that? For real? You're going to leave Fred Van Vliet, the all-star, open like that? That's what you're going to get. Cash is in the bucket for the Raptors. My Flames aren't working anymore. I need Justin Champagny to heat this thing up again. And Primo, the rookie for the Spurs, hitting a corner 3. Score at the moment is 56-45. Raptors are up by 11 points. Got to keep foot on the gas here. And wow. Okay, Jakob. Jakob Poeltl coming in and getting that rebound from Siakam. His like ex-best friend, I want to say. I remember everyone would brand their friendship. Not to the same extent that we branded Kyle and DeMar's friendship, but the bromance between P Skills and what did we used to call Jakob? I know we used to call him Yak, but there was like another nickname for him. Was it the Austrian Hammer or something? I don't know, man. I don't know. But either way, that friendship between Pascal and Jakob Poeltl, that was heavily documented throughout their rookie seasons. And I like both those players a lot, and I do miss Jakob Poeltl. Everyone in the chat's agreeing with that. They want JV. They want Yak. We traded away our team for a championship, but hey, the banner's still there. Fred VanVleet, rare air ball from 3, but that was pretty deep and contested. Kind of makes sense. Spurs coming back with the ball. Oh, wow. And Tom Moreau pointing out that Primo's just 19. Jeez. And CH saying Fred's passing now. I've always thought Fred was kind of an underrated playmaker. Like, people are always so critical about Fred. I think that we always compare him to Lowry, and it makes sense. They're the same size, similar brand of basketball that they play. We're accustomed to that kind of starting point guard because we've had him for like the past 9 seasons. So we always give him that comparison. And for that reason, because Kyle Lowry is the ultimate playmaker. Fred VanVleet still does a really good job. I know he might not do it to the same level that Kyle does at age 35, but stay patient with Fred. I think he's going to be pretty much like the best guy you could have handed the team off to from Kyle Lowry. Stylistic-wise, they're right there. They learned under each other. I'm a big Fred VanVleet guy, and I've always defended his playmaking, but thankfully it's starting to show up for a lot more people too. Pascal Siakam with the ball. Finds Fred VanVleet for another 3. Just give it to me. Boom! Freddie V knocking down the 3. As soon as it leaves his fingertips, I knew that one was good. You're going to let him be completely open? He's cashing that. Yeah, as soon as Fred VanVleet's got to start doing some Steph Curry things where he shoots the ball, starts going back. That's not really in Fred VanVleet's nature. He's like a business-only guy, but he's becoming just such a reliable spot-up shooter. And then Kem Birch playing some great defense, but I think he's called for a foul, unless it's a jump ball. I don't know, but that looked like he got all ball there. Halted a spur underneath the rim, but I think it might be a foul, unfortunately. Either way, good defense there by Birch. Shouts out my Canadian. CH asking Fred over 20 points. I think that's a decent bet. I have a friend tonight who bet on, I think it was, his bet hits if it's either Pascal or Fred. Either one of them, doesn't matter who, both for all they care. If one of them gets 30 points, then he cashes his bet. So I'm going to keep an eye on that line for him. But it's, Fred VanVleet currently has, why did it go back to the Spurs? Oh my God. He's already got 21 points. 21 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 8 of 14, and 5 of 8 from 3. Guys, it's the first half. Okay, give Fred VanVleet his all-star nod right now. If you guys have not done the fan voting yet, please do the sport of basketball a favor. Get that man to All-Star Weekend. Help him out. Let me see if my flames are working here. There they are. Freddie V has been on fire in the first half. Magnetic Knowledge, another legend in the chat. Got to give my respect here. Saying Justin and Birch really impressing me. I agree. Kem Birch, I always wait for him to kind of like blend in and come back down to earth and just kind of be like, I hate to say it, maybe it's super pessimistic, but I've been waiting to be disappointed by Kem Birch. And it's never happened. It's never happened. He's kind of risen to the role that we've laid out for him. He's embraced the opportunity for more floor time. He got essentially released by Orlando, who had a crowded front court. Now they got a crowded back court. Man, just such crazy stuff going on in Orlando right now. But they let him go for nothing. We got him for nothing. And what a steal. This is the closest thing we have to a traditional center on our roster. Chris Boucher is an alien. Like, the things he does doesn't really make sense for a 5, and he's kind of inconsistent, but crazy skill set. Not really a traditional center, though. And then Precious Achiuwa, he's basically a juiced-up power forward. So when it comes to who actually does the proper center things really traditionally well, it tends to be Kem Birch. And like I said, I've been waiting for him to come back down to earth and kind of disappoint me. But he hasn't. He just simply hasn't. The Raptors rewarded him with that 3-year contract in the offseason. Just lived up to it, man. He has fully lived up to it. And to get back to what you're saying about Justin Champagnie, this is Magnetic Knowledge pointing this out. He has been so good off ball, just doing all the right things. You can tell he's learning and making the small little IQ play details that will bring you to the next level. The man goes off of him to double, goes up to the 3-point line to stretch the floor, gets the pass, drains it, runs the floor for trailing buckets, gets a whole bunch of rebounds. He's been contesting people going to the rim. Been very happy with his game tonight, and I'm happy to see him get more floor time. A lot of Raptors fans have been waiting for this to happen. Shouts out to Kem Birch and our guy Justin Champagnie. And Freddie's getting a whole lot of all-star love in the chat. Drew's saying Freddie all-star. Let's go. Freddie all-star. Jet for Sale 1 getting in there too. Hey, man, we can help make this happen with the fan voting. I want to see Freddie V at All-Star Weekend. Tom Moreau says, all that talk about Banton and Flynn and our backup point guard has become ... Drum roll, everybody. Scotty Barnes. I've been wondering, do you think you could actually play Scotty Barnes at the point guard position? I don't think you're in the best situation if you're doing that, but I think he could do it. I'd rather Fred take that responsibility and just have him be a playmaking forward. Just let him do that. Do what he does at the 4 position and then have Fred out there with him as your point guard. But yeah, you're right. Off the bench, with the reserves, whoever he's out there with, if Fred VanVleet's not on the court, he can take over those primary playmaking responsibilities. But then again, I'm also a big believer in Malachi Flynn, and I do like Delano Banton too. There's not really any Raptors that get on my nerves too much. Even Svi Mikhailuk, who seems to be everybody's like the whipping boy of the group, kind of like, I got frustrations, I'm going to take it out on Svi Mikhailuk. I still defend him a fair bit even. So I like this roster a lot. Yes, we're young, a little bit inexperienced, but in terms of the guys, the character, the skill set, I like how we've built this roster. Of course, it is missing a 7-footer, but I'm pretty happy. And I was saying this even before we turned around the season. I like the way this roster is built. All this team needs to do is play for a while, win and lose together, and then eventually work their way back up the contention. And Masai will help us pick up some pieces along the way to really make the picture come together. Spurs missed a shot. Siakam from 3 gets it to go. I think he's 2 of 2 from 3 tonight, but Fred VanVleet finding Pascal Siakam for the 3-pointer. I can't get my animation right now. This is aggravating. But Spicy P, he deserves the Flames. I don't have him up on the screen at the moment. But he's playing great. Knocks down a 3, and then Keldon Johnson at the other end gets the bucket for the Spurs. He's kind of a beast. He's got that Kawhi physique. OG Anunoby shoots the 3, just spills out, but Pascal Siakam with the offensive rebound. Oh, that was gorgeous, but misses the putback. No. Oh, man, that's a bummer. Yeesh, that was ugly. Okay, so Pascal Siakam does the right thing, gets the rebound, turns around, gets the defense to kind of spread back out to the perimeter, immediately double takes back in, misses the layup, and then Scotty Barnes picks up a loose ball foul, but otherwise he was there to get the rebound and hopefully the putback. He missed the putback, but it doesn't matter. It was an offensive foul, Spurs ball, and then we foul the Spurs on defense. So White will be shooting too. You guys drop your score predictions. I'm curious to hear. And I also apologize if I'm missing any super chats or anything of that nature. I'm just getting so into the games. I'm going to use a software that starts feeding the chat through onto the screen. So if there's super chats, any comments that I'd be noticing, they'll be coming through over my feed. Kind of like what you see on Twitch. So we're going to be integrating that pretty much next live stream. I meant to do it for this one, but stay tuned for that. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything up here. I see Paul Blunt's name in the chat. Wonder what Paul Blunt is tonight. He might be with us, but shouts out Paul Blunt, a legend. Anyways, guys, we got 90 live viewers. If you're in here right now, do me a favor, drop a like spike. Happy my Skyrim arrow animation's still working. Pascal Siakam with the ball at the moment. He's in the high post. OG Anunoby's got it now. Pascal Siakam sets the pick. Oh, OG's getting some space. I think he's going to take this shot. Goes up. Ooh, that was kind of an ugly angle. Misses that. White has the ball for the Spurs right now. Gets it to Keldon Johnson. Thinks about it. Takes it off the dribble. And wow. Whoo. That was a nice bucket, man. Smart finesse play by Keldon Johnson. Gets the 2 for the Spurs. The score is 63-53. Raps are up by 10. Fred VanVleet from deep. It's good. It's good. Fred VanVleet, man. Freddie V. I know I keep saying it's good every time, but if you let this man square up and shoot a 3 and no one's guarding him, then I'm going to keep saying it because I know it's going to be good. He is red hot right now. I swear, if the Flames don't work for this, so help me God. They do. Freddie V unlocking the Flames for us on live. Big bucket. And then Gary Trent Jr. with another steal. He's been turned on defensively. Oh, what a transition layup by OG. Defense to offense. That's the key. That's the takeaway. That's the video. Defense to offense. There we go. Raptors figuring it out. And then that last minute possession there is missed by the Spurs, who shoot the late three and do not end up hitting. Raps are going into halftime feeling pretty good. Pretty good. They got the lead, and beyond which, the momentum feels nice. We feel like the better team. We look like the better team. And just everything going right. Guys are stepping up into their proper roles. Gary Trent Jr. is finally starting to score the basket a little bit more and play lockdown defense like he's been doing all season. Let me read out some of the box scores for you guys. So, OG Anunoby, 4 points, 3 rebounds, no assists. He's 2 of 7 from the field. But he's still playing nice. Does he have any defensive stats? Yeah, he's got a steal to go with that. Chalk it up. Gary Trent Jr., 12 points. Okay, I didn't realize he had that many, but my boy Gary, he's got 12 and 3 assists. No rebounds yet, but he's shooting 50% from the floor, 2 of 5 from 3. Barnes, 5, 5, and 4. He's still on triple-double watch, but I think 6 assists for Scotty Barnes in the second half, that's a pretty tall task. But a man can dream. A man can hope. He is still flirting with the line. 5, 5, and 4 for Scotty. He's been pretty efficient as well. Actually, I take that back. He's 1 of 4. Never mind. Siakam, 12, 8, and 2. For all the harsh things, I never said mean things about Siakam. Never once. But harsh, yeah. I've said some harsh stuff. I'm going to eat my words right now, guys. On camera, I'm chewing on them. Just like Ezekiel Elliott. Nom, 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 nom. I am eating my words for what I said about Pascal Siakam. 15 minutes, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 2 from three-point range. Okay, this is the bone that I'll pretty much forever probably have to pick with Pascal Siakam. He does have 3 turnovers and 2 personal fouls, but all things considered, great first half for him. Seriously. And Van Vliet, 24 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 9 of 15 from the floor, 6 of 9 from 3, 2 steals. I don't even need to say it. You guys know he's an all-star. And then Khem Birch, I like to call him the cleanup man. He's the stabilizing force, the last layer of defense that always gives you a very valiant effort. He's got 2 points, 6 rebounds. He's 0 of 4 from the field. He's got a couple free throws, which is where his points are coming from. But 1 steal, 3 blocks. He's got 3 turnovers and a personal foul too, so that's not ideal. But very effort-wise, great job for Khem Birch, and I do think that we're feeling a lot better with him in the lineup again. For anyone who missed it, we do not have we have Precious Achiuwa in the lineup tonight. It's Yuta Watanabe who we are missing, and Svi Mikhailuk. I believe both of them are on COVID protocols. So even if worst case scenario is that they have COVID, I don't know if they do. It's probably just contact tracing or something. Apparently now the mandated quarantine's like 5 days. So that's good. I mean, we don't need to get political on this podcast here, but it's happy to see, just fans in general, happy to see that things can happen like a COVID positive and you still have a chance of seeing a guy back within like a couple games. Doesn't sum up like a big stoppage of the league or his season or whatever. It's, we're starting to get to a level of normalcy with this, although it is still a very big problem. Ontario also going back into lockdown tomorrow. That's tough. Marcel Martin says, I love watching this team attack. And we got a super chat, ladies and gentlemen, from none other than Marcel himself. He's saying Pascal found hunger for rebounding, and it's refreshing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my biggest bone to pick. I mean, I just said it was the personal fouls and turnovers, but another bone to pick that I sometimes have with Pascal is that, he's so nice and like well-tempered that he doesn't seem to get angry. And sometimes I feel like your top guy needs to get a little ticked off. And right now, I don't know if he's playing angry, but he's playing determined and wanting to go get the boards. They're getting him into all the right places to get putback buckets, to get fouled, to pick up rebounds. He's doing all those things, and it's just helping open up his game completely. I always say, as much as he's tried to be a finesse player, and yes, it's been working for him at times, my favorite version of Pascal Siakam is the one that gets it dirty, the one that runs the floor for easy buckets, gets last-minute blocks on the perimeter. Like, he's got a play style that really facilitates being a great number 2. But right now as a number 1, he has done it with his finesse at times. I just love to see Pascal Siakam, in a sense, getting it out the mud, going and getting rebounds, playing dirty, and Marcel Martin taking note of that. Shouts out to him for the super chat. We got to get Marcel on here calling in at some point. I've been teasing the call-in feature for a while. I think I should integrate that and the chat coming through the screen all on next live stream. Don't miss it, guys. I'm gonna I'm a promise right now, no matter what happens, I will have both of those things set up next live stream. So if you guys want to see those, call in, have your comments or super chats come in over the screen. I'll have both of those set up for next stream. That's on God. I'll put it on anything. I will do that. Just looking through the chat here. Okay, so we got some score predictions right now. Tom Duke saying 109 to 101 Raps. Datil Guy 301 saying 125 to 105. I'm hoping you're talking about for the Raptors. I'll assume you are. Jet for Sale 1 saying 110 to 98 for the Raptors. Super Novel saying 118 to 104 Raps. Mr. JJ, he's calling it for a 25-point blowout. 124 to 99 Raptors win. Oh, and Tom Moreau says he's got Spurs under 55 in the first half. And the score is, oh man, wow, Tom. Wow. Okay, so the Spurs got 53. So Tom Moreau, he's got an eye for value on those betting lines. I gotta say, Tom Moreau, we've never spoken voice to voice, but the takes that you give in the chat, plus also the bets you've been putting down recently, I got to give my respect. This man knows his hoops. Ends up cashing that first half bet for the Spurs under. Love to see that. Raps playing good defense. And yeah, man, people are just showing a whole ton, an absolute ton of respect to Fred VanVleet in the comments, talking about how much of an all-star he is and how he deserves to go to that weekend. Let's make it happen, guys. Let's make it happen. I wonder where Fred VanVleet's level of respect is in the league. And Marcel was talking to me about this today. He was asking, do I think Fred VanVleet's an underrated defender? I said, no, not anymore. I think he started to get that respect. Last season, definitely. I think he was leading the league in steals pretty much like all of last season. Did he end up leading the league in steals last year? If he didn't, he was like right there in the top three. So I think all of that season he was pretty underrated, combined with the fact that the Raptors weren't doing so good away from home, no crowds, just like a complete perfect storm of things that would distract you from the actual play of the players themselves. But now I do think Fred VanVleet's starting to get that respect. I mean, the NBA Finals should have done that for him. He literally made Steph Curry his son. But in terms of day-to-day acknowledging someone as an elite defender, I think he's reaching that level. And I pray that that can go into his all-star consideration a little bit. I know that for the most part, we tend to view the all-star picks as, pretty offensively geared picks. Like we sell the game through entertaining offense, and that's usually what goes into the all-star criteria. But I think Fred VanVleet, his two-way play is really what makes him elite. Don't be fooled by the fact he's 6'0". He really is elite on the back end. And that's another way he reminds me of Lowry, is you take him in the post. Yes, he's in trouble if he's not anchored and a little bit up in the high post. But for the most part, big guys, when they try to back in on him, they immediately are surprised by his strength and immediately surprised by the tenacity and his hands, man. Fred VanVleet's got great hands. You look away for 1 second, he's slapping that ball right out of your hands. I've been a big Freddie V fan. I got the jersey up in the background. And of course, I had to get the finals patch put on the jersey. I custom ordered it because that is like my favorite version of Fred VanVleet. I remember watching NBA Finals games, just sitting there like who? I was so happy that Hubie Brown gave him the Finals MVP vote. I know it wasn't realistic, but just for Fred VanVleet to say, I received the Finals MVP vote, and I think Hubie knew he wouldn't win it. I mean, of course, anyone with common sense knew it was going to Kawhi Leonard, but the fact that Hubie was like, nah, we can't forget about Fred. I'm going to give him my vote. I mean, the whole playoffs, Kawhi did do his job to be our MVP, but in the finals, I think you could make a genuine case to say that, yeah, Fred VanVleet might have been the Finals MVP. I know that accolade needs to go into like everybody that got up to that point, but Fred VanVleet, I mean, we give out Finals MVP a lot of times for who can shut down superstars. Kawhi Leonard got Finals MVP for locking down LeBron. Iguodala got Finals MVP for locking down LeBron. But then Fred VanVleet goes and handcuffs Curry and puts up a crazy offensive performance, hitting all of our timely shots. I think he fully deserved that vote from Hubie Brown, and I'm just happy he got it. If you guys are watching, do me a favor and drop a like spike. I don't even have the like spike animation. Never mind. Don't like the video, I guess. But the animations are absolutely tweaking out on me. This sucks. Andrew Bailey saying Fred isn't elite on D. Stick to hockey. Who is Fred stopping on D? Stop this. Okay, so I guess my boy doesn't have cable or the ability to watch the Raptors in the NBA Finals. He might have stopped Steph Curry, but I'll let you just go look up the highlights and you tell me. There's a bit of a statistical argument there too, but hey, we don't need to get into it. I think Fred VanVleet is an elite defender. If you don't, that's fine. That's okay. I think he's starting to get his respect though. He gets a ton of blocks too. I think a lot of those should be counted as steals, but the way that the league takes stats, sometimes it's a bit of a blurred line, and they gave him a ton of blocks in recent past. And we got 132 viewers. I'm gonna see if I can get the like spike animation. There it goes. Second time's a charm. Works. If you guys are watching this right now, do me a big favor and drop a like. It helps grow the stream so much. And you guys have already brought it up to a massive production that's been a lot of fun. The numbers have been steadily growing. And as I said, the next live stream we do, I'm going to make sure that we have the stream or the chat for the stream coming through on the screen, as well as a call-in feature at halftime. Don't miss that. I hope you guys come right back for it for our next opportunity to hopefully get past the 500 mark. I'm hoping tonight we can get to that. I think it'd be a record of 17-17. And then someone in the chat last game said, mark my words, we will be at a 20-18 record. That sounded kind of nice to me. Some things just resonate with you. And I think that right there, I was like, yeah, I think the Raptors are about to go on a run, and I think they will concede one game at least in the next few, but they're going to win more than they lose in this next little stretch. Just wait for it. When we're at 20-18, I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen. And if you were the person that said that in the chat, claim it in the chat because I can't remember who exactly brought it up. Oh, damn. Tom Duke saying, I am with you, Josh. Fred VanVleet equals the GROAT someday. Who knows? Because I think if, all respect to Kyle Lowry, I mean, big time respect to Kyle Lowry. He is the greatest Raptor of all time. But if you could see Fred VanVleet go with this team for like a decade and maybe get back to a finals and win with Scotty. So he's got that championship with Kawhi, championship with Scotty, even kind of went through kind of some of those difficult years of the LeBronto. He was there fully through the LeBronto scene with DeMar and Kyle. If he could go through all of that and the future with our team, maybe you do have a Fred VanVleet GROAT case you can make. I won't rule it out. I mean, he's already got a crazy resume with this team, and he's only 27, a lot of years ahead of him. People also forget that Kyle Lowry is like such a late bloomer. I think Fred VanVleet's most complete, composed years are definitely ahead of him. And right now, man, like I'm going to read out his stat line one last time for everybody. So Fred VanVleet, what he's doing in this game is nothing short of special. He's putting on a shooting clinic. All right, so Freddie V has 24 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 9 of 15 from the floor, 6 of 9 from 3 with 2 steals. Hasn't turned over the ball once. Oh, and he doesn't even have a personal foul either. Come on now. Come on now. All-star this man. I've been making this case this whole entire live stream. I know I'm preaching to the choir here. Everybody's voting for Fred, but special year he's having. Let's do everything we can to push him into All-Star weekend. Daniel Thull saying, what do we think about Josh Primo? So I got to say, I don't have like a great read on him as a player, like skill wise, but the reviews I've heard, and it's mostly coming from North Pole Hoops. They're a big time Instagram page and I'll just call them a platform. They have websites too, all that good stuff to break down Canadian basketball players. And they always talk about him being like one of the craziest athletes. I've only kind of noticed some skill stuff from him in that first half, but apparently he can like jump out of the gym, and he is only 19. Tom Moreau pointed that out, and I did know that actually. I think he's the youngest, if not maybe second. He's like one of the youngest players in this very deep draft class. So I think the Spurs got a good player in him. I'm definitely thinking they're happy with that pick, and going forward, he should be a player that ends up on Team Canada and, make some waves in the NBA, we're hoping. But Josh Primo is definitely someone who's gotten some hype. We'll see where his rookie season goes, but things in San Antonio are kind of dim at the moment. I really don't like Popovich. We don't need to go there. We don't need to go there. That's a tough one to defend. I just don't like the way he carries himself. Oh, no. Oh boy. Super chat from Marcel Martin right now.
No.
Oh, it's not working. Let me try this one more time, guys. There we go. Somehow it works. Marcel Martin saying, yo, Josh, I don't think this Andrew guy wants to debate with the all capitals Bald Mamba. Okay, before we even go down this path here, I got into a little bit of a debate with Marcel. And before I knew it, I was getting an Instagram video call. And I was like, what's going on? And Marcel immediately he's ready for the smoke. He answers and he's like, oh, so you think Steph Curry's the best point guard of all time? Let me take you through this. And he just went off, and I got to say, he had some compelling points. Maybe I'm giving it to Jerry West now. I don't know. It's still up in the air. You guys let me know in the chat. But I'm telling you, the Bald Mamba, Marcel Martin, does not stray away from the basketball smoke. Watch out. Shouts out to Marcel for the super chat. So game's back on right now. In the mid-range, Gary Trent Jr. gets it to go. Nice, man. He's got a deep scoring bag. He likes to shoot it from anywhere. Does not matter. Most natural offensive player on the Raptors. Gary Trent Jr. That's what I'm saying. Jakob Poeltl has it in the low post. He's covered by Anunoby. Hits the cutter. Nah, wow. That's an and one play. Yeesh. All right, so opportunity for the three-point play. Big key to remember here. The Spurs, I think we still have a really nice lead. So, yeah, it's 72-57. I'm not too worried, but the Spurs, if they win the first, if they're leading after the third quarter, apparently they're like 7-0 on the road or something. Not really relevant at this point. I think the Raptors have built definitely enough of a cushion, knock on wood. But the Spurs, there was some stats that I was giving to you guys early in the game there. One of which was also that when the Raptors lose the first quarter at home, they're like 0-5. They did lose the first quarter in this game. And yes, the third quarter as well has been some trouble for them in the past. But I got a feeling that, Fred VanVleet. Yeah, everything I'm saying, he was like, Josh, shut up. I got this. Knocks down the three, man. Oh my God, Freddie V. My flames are broken. That sucks. But Fred VanVleet heating up again. That's his 7th three-pointer of the game. On like 10 shots. Ooh, Jakob. That's a big jam right there. The Austrian hammer. All right, my flames are back on. Fred needs that. Freddie V having a crazy game. Just hit his 7th three-pointer. And then Gary Trent Jr. taking some contact, moving his body back, contorting for the layup, gets it to go off the glass. A deep scoring bag, I will say that. Jones with the ball. Kicks it out to Vassell, I believe. Oh, that's a brick, but there you go. I'm very happy that happened. Misses the shot, ends up in Jakob Poeltl's hands, who gets the easy putback. You guys already know, I put money on Jakob Poeltl to get the double-double. I don't think that was his 10th rebound, but it's getting pretty close. He's on pace to hit that. Let me check. Yeah, so Jakob's got 15 and 9. And 3 assists, actually. He's having a nice little game. But yeah, 15 and 9 for him. I'm hoping that double-double is just money in the bank. He should get at least one more rebound. I'm not too worried. But Scotty Barnes, he needs 15 for me to actually cash his parlay if everything goes right. And currently he's got how many points? 5. Yeah, he's got 5, 5, and 5. Road to the triple-double. Let's see what happens. But I would like to see him get 15 to cash that plus 450 bet. That'd be a nice win. Check out my bets on Twitter beforehand if you guys haven't been already. Graham in the chat saying, holy smokes, Freddie is on fire. A-Cat saying, wow. And then Susie saying, FVV going for a 50-piece. Stay tuned. I mean, I was talking about that, about Scotty Barnes picking up the triple-double, but Fred VanVleet having a monster night is definitely also on its way. Oh, no way. That looked like a clean block. I thought Scotty Barnes just got a clean block on Jakob Poeltl, but refs blow the whistle. Yak will be shooting 2 at the line. Nick Nurse doesn't look like he's going too crazy right now. There's no real need to challenge it. I don't even know if you can. I don't know the rules around that. I'm just a casual. But there we go. Jakob Poeltl shoots. Misses the first one. Ball doesn't lie. It must have been a clean play. And we got another super chat going down. Oh my God, why is my animation not working? All right, I'm going to give it 1, 2, 3. And it works. We got Sen Bimmons saying FVV at point guard is a lock. Hashtag Freddie All-Star. Man, shouts out to Sen Bimmons dropping the super chat and dropping some truth. For anybody who hasn't heard yet, Fred VanVleet is a lock for the All-Star game, or at least he should be. Let's all do our job voting for him to get him in there. Everyone wants to see it. It would mean so much for him in his very young, undrafted career. I don't know about young, but relatively young. The man's 27, a lot of great years ahead of him, and let's get him into the All-Star game now. Why wait? OG Anunoby shoots the three, misses. Fred VanVleet gets the rebound, but ended up being a loose ball foul, I believe, or a reach in, something along those lines. Pascal Siakam picks up the offensive foul. It's Spurs ball. Fred VanVleet's got his fingerprints all over this game, dude. Okay, and this is interesting. Buster in the chat saying something that I've thought a lot before. He says Fred will be a great head coach after he retires. I mean, everything Fred says is like so slick and like wise. He acts like he doesn't want to be talking to you, but he talks like a lot. You know, he's got that dismissive attitude, but very intelligent. I don't know. I'm having a tough time describing it, but he carries himself like a coach. He's definitely a student of the game. He was undrafted. He definitely has the makings to be a great coach experience-wise, and his demeanor seems to be there too. Buster pointing out something I've noticed as well. And then the Spurs score again, and that'll be Nick Nurse calling a timeout. He's going to talk to his guys, make sure that the foot is still on the gas, and just get everyone calmed down, recalibrated, survive the third quarter. Okay, this is hilarious. I gotta turn on the flames for this comment. Oh man, the flames are not working. This is brutal. Susie says FVV is a head coach now. He's already a coach. Who are we kidding, man? We got a young team. He's out there coaching along with Nick Nurse. That's actually just the damn truth. Fred VanVleet is if he's not leading this team in points, he's always leading in morale, leadership. He's the engine of our team. The motor, the heartbeat, whatever kind of word you want to use for it. Fred VanVleet makes this group go, and he keeps things pieced together on day to day. I think he's the glue in a lot of ways. Yes, he has some boneheaded plays where I'm like, Fred, why are you taking that as your last shot of the game? There's been times where he wasn't great at finishing in the paint, tries to do too much, but he is still figuring out his rhythm with this group, and I like what Fred's doing. And no matter what, he is leading by example out there. And I think it was Ken Birch who was saying, even though Freddie's a couple years younger than me, when he says something in the change room, we listen. We immediately listen. Like, that is their new guy. I'm just making the All-Star campaign going down right here on live Raptors Digest. I've been saying it all game, but I want to see him go to All-Star weekend. And Graham's saying he's Lowry 2.0. I think there's so many similarities between those two. Actually, I really do. Yes, Kyle Lowry, when he left our team, was a much better playmaker, but their strengths and weaknesses are very similar. And I think that Fred VanVleet's kind of modeled his game after Lowry playing under him, which makes sense. And I think that eventually we'll realize this was the best guy we could have been left with at point guard when Kyle Lowry departed from Miami. It's just stylistically such a nice fit. Buster following up on those comments. He says point guards are an extension of the coach on the floor. That is so true. I've had a coach say that before. The QBs of basketball. And then he says they make the best coaches. Those are facts. I agree completely, actually. And what you're saying about the point guard being an extension of the coach. He is what executes what is drawn up by coach. So yes, very much so a right-hand man kind of situation. And Fred VanVleet, so intelligent. You really can sense that he's a smart guy, sees the world with a critical eye, and sees the game of basketball with a critical eye. He'll definitely be a coach now and in the future. Shouts out VanVleet. I'd be curious to hear when Kyle Lowry made the All-Star team. Like, Kyle might have he might have been 28 or 27. Yeah, I think he's probably 28 years old when he first made the All-Star team, because he had it 6 years in a row. And yeah, he's 35, so he's 36 now, so that would line up. So he wasn't even really Freddie's age until he made an All-Star team. If I'm doing the math in my head correctly. I know I am, but if someone wants to double check that, go ahead. ACAT saying draft Kai Soto next year. We should draft Kai Soto. He's expected to go second round. I've heard about Kai Soto, actually. Why do I know that name? He's on the G League Ignite, correct? I think he's on the G League Ignite. I could have swore he got drafted this year, no? Maybe he didn't declare, but either way, if he hasn't, I think he's still on the Ignite. I'd be interested to see how he's doing. Ooh, Scotty Barnes. Nice little mid-range, Jay. I want the flames on for that, but I will not get the flames. This is tough. I wish I could restart my OBS right now, but I can't do that without ending the stream, so simply cannot happen at the moment, but figuratively, I got the flames on for Scotty B. getting comfortable in the mid-range. I think that's his 7th point of the game. And gets a rebound on defense, outlets up to Pascal. And here we go. Open three for Gary. Hit that, man. Misses. And it's rebounded by Keldon Johnson. Up to Jones. They're going the other way. And then Primo, the rookie, off the glove. Wow, nice touch. Nice touch. I'll cheer for that. I'll cheer for the rookie. The Canadian, I might need to clarify for people who do not know. And we got another super chat going down from Marcel Martin. Hold on, let me give it the 1, 2, 3. My animation better work. And it failed me that time. It failed me. What the heck? But anyways, Marcel Martin dropping the super chat. Shouts out to my guy Marcel. He's saying, just wanted to throw this out there, but we all know who the league MVP is. DeMar DeJordan. DeMar MVP. Sorry, DeMar de MVP. DeMar de GOAT. You heard it firsthand from Marcel Martin. He's been making this case, and I mean, how can you really argue with that, man? He is single-handedly winning games for this Bulls team. He has taken them from like, a kind of play-in team, and then after signing in free agency, they're like right up there as a sneaky contender. Don't sleep on DeMar DeRozan. He does so much. He's been this dude, but it's finally coming together in Chicago. He's got some help in Levine, Vucevic, Lonzo, Caruso. Who knows where that team will go? Going into the season, I felt like, I don't know, Primo hitting another big shot. I felt like, who's the final MVP on that team? Like, who's really good enough to win a finals on the Bulls? I know they got better, but are they there? Well, my answer is DeMar, and I didn't necessarily believe it, but he's at that point now where I think he's ready to take the next step. We'll see what they do in the postseason, but shouts out Marcel, shouts out the former Raptor DeMar DeRozan. He's making an MVP case, and Marcel is helping to push that. Spurs miss the shot. Siakam takes it off the glass. They're coming the other way. Finds OG down in the corner. Working it on Vassell. And then Siakam shoots the 3. I think that's already been blown down. Yeah, Vassell picking up the foul on Siakam, who was kind of playing some bully ball in the paint. Okay, and this is someone who actually gets slept on a lot. Mike Kamina pointing out Jokic having a historic season, but no love. You're right. Jokic doesn't really get the love because, a few reasons, but I'll start by saying his team's like sort of broken at the moment. I think that Porter Jr. is still hurt, and he was having a really weird start to the season. Jamal Murray, who's debatably, I'll say a superstar. If you're going to drop 50 points in like an elimination playoff game, I'll say a superstar. So you just have another like high caliber dude who's been out with a torn ACL, then MPJ, who's supposed to be like third in line for that. He's not doing it. So in theory, Denver is a team with just so much contending potential, like debatably at full health, maybe a favorite to win, but they don't have it right now. And I think that's part of what's taken away from Jokic's case, because this whole regular season, for Jokic and the Nuggets, it might just lead to nothing because of their injury situation. And I think Jamal Murray's supposed to come back at some point this year, but MPJ hasn't been himself, and we aren't seeing the full Nuggets team. So the spectacle isn't there. And MVP is like, yes, of course, they try to get the pick right, but a lot of it does have to do with, the storyline, the narrative. And Jokic does not have much of one going for him right now, unfortunately. But we got to give him his love. He does things that not a lot of people do, and that's like in NBA history. Well, nice defensive play again by Gary. Ends up deflecting it out off of a San Antonio Spur, so the Raptors get the ball back. We're on offense. Oh, OG open for 3. Misses. Kem Birch almost gets the rebound, does not, and it's going the other way. Bates Diop passes it over to Vassell, who gets it over to, who is that there? I'm so bad with the Spurs roster, but ends up in Jakob's hands, who misses the shove shot. And then it goes out of bounds off of Bates Diop. It will be Raptors ball. I hope I'm saying that name correct. I think I am. Hey, Buster saying Pascal Rodman with 11 boards already. Let me check if... Hey, Jakob Poeltl. Guys, you guys might have said this in the chat, but I didn't notice. Jakob Poeltl, Poeltl. I can't believe I'm messing up his name here. It's been too long. Jakob Poeltl has 19, 12, and 4, so the double-double is secured. We are good for that part of the bet. It was like, I want to say plus 200 maybe, but he got it. I feel that was a snipe of a bet. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. But Scotty Barnes, he still needs 15 for me to cash that parlay. I think he has 7 right now, so definitely still possible. Stay tuned on that and let me know how your bets are looking in the chat. Primo gets fouled. He's had a nice third quarter. or third quarter. Right now it's, yeah. So there's 4:36 left in the third, and the score is 88-71. I got to position my setup a little bit better. But Raptors up pretty big right now and playing really well. It's not just that we're winning on the scoreboard. The eye test is telling you that the Raptors have the momentum, the decisiveness, and I'm happy that we do because, as I've been saying, the Spurs came into town on a 3-game losing streak, and the Raptors have an opportunity to get back to 500, and I think they've had 6 different opportunities to do that this season. They got to deliver on this one, man. The tide is turning. Got to ride that momentum. Okay, and in the chat, and I'm not saying like this guy's name is literally uh. Is saying, yeah, I just checked. Kyle was 28, his first All-Star selection in 2014-15. Guys, don't sleep. If Fred VanVleet can do it this year or next, he'll be younger or the same age as Lowry, his first All-Star bid. The best basketball is in front of Fred VanVleet, and that is crazy to think. He's already done so much. Undrafted, man. I could rant about the guy forever. He's definitely my favorite player in the NBA. Got the jersey with the finals patch and everything. Spurs got it right now. Primo, who's having a great quarter, ends up traveling. No, he's fouled by VanVleet. That might be VanVleet's first personal foul of the whole game. A little while ago, he had 0 personal fouls and 0 turnovers. Playing just like every definition of an efficient game. But Primo also doing really good. He's at the line. Oh man, he looks so young. I know he's only 19, but his face, like, he looks like he's just fresh out of high school, which he is. It's just crazy seeing kids looking that young in the NBA. Hits his first free throw. And then Sen Bimmons with another super chat. He's saying Scotty triple-double still alive. Sen Bimmons, I haven't looked at this in a little while. Let me take a look. But anyways, Sen Bimmons, shouts out to you for the super chat, man. I always appreciate it. Appreciate you. And Scotty Barnes has 7, 7, and 6. The triple-double hope is alive and well. And I pray that if he gets to like 8 assists, he just starts trying to set dudes up. Like, I know you want him to play the game the right way all the time, especially as a rookie, but it's okay. He can cheat a little bit and pass the ball more than he normally would if he's sitting on 8 assists, and that's the thing keeping him from a triple-double. I would love that. Absolutely love it. And for those who don't know, Josh Giddey went out there the other day, youngest player ever to record a triple-double, and it was a nice triple-double too. I think he had like 17, 12, and 13, so really just stuff in the box score. I've been a big fan of Josh Giddey, and I know everyone's been, oh man, like you're telling me you knew this was going to happen? Yes. I was wrong about Franz Wagner, like so wrong. You guys can make fun of me all day for saying Franz Wagner was going to be the bust of the draft. You guys can make fun of me for that. Please do. I deserve it. But I knew Josh Giddey was going to be this good. I saw him in the NBL putting up the same numbers as LaMelo. He wasn't scoring as much, but I think he was even averaging more assists. And I just thought to myself, okay, recently I've seen this happen and it worked out pretty good. And then other guys like RJ Hampton also came out of the NBL and did really well. Australia is low-key a basketball spot, and he's been doing really great in Australia for a long time. He was in the pros just as young as LaMelo. I knew he was going to be a steal of a pickup, and so did Sam Presti in OKC. Shouts out Josh Giddey. He's one of the rookies I like a lot for sure in this class, which has been very deep. Some people saying this is the deepest rookie class since the 03 D Wade, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh draft, where the Raptors picked 4th overall as well. Ended up with Chris Bosh. Now we got Scotty Barnes at 4th overall. History's cyclical, man. Repeats itself. Gary Trent Jr. misses that 3. It's rebounded by the Spurs, and Primo's coming back the other way. Finds a Spur in transition. Who is that? Wow, man. Primo's game is very good. He found Landale. I might be saying that incorrectly, but the big, tall, white guy, number 34. Found him in transition, but Josh Primo showing some playmaking, too. He's got some game. I like him. Gary Trent Jr. shoots the mid-range. Gets it to go. Gary Trent Jr., he seems to like making contact before he shoots. And that's a good trait. I mean, that's a gritty, good trait. Gets the bucket for the Raptors. Spurs, oh, that was probably a foul, but all right, that's awesome. I guess the Raptors went straight up there. Chris Boucher and Fred VanVleet. Nothing easy. Going up and contesting. It's off of Raptors, so it'll stay with the Spurs. But the score right now is 90-78. There's 2:50 left in the third quarter. This has been a dominant effort so far for Toronto. They can smell 500. It's so close. They're going to reach out and grab it. Knock on wood. Mike Kamina saying Fred would have been a player coach back in the day. And yeah, Sen Bimmon's pointing out that LaMelo was the youngest last year to ever get the triple double. Yeah, that record did not last too long. Kids are doing crazy stuff these days, man. Josh Giddey's record will probably only last like another 300 days or something until someone else breaks it. But yeah, Josh Giddey, he's got a ton of talent, and triple doubles now are just like, they're not common, but people can pick them up without it being too crazy. Russell Westbrook averaged one for a couple seasons in a row there. Like, just some freak stats that come out of the NBA these days. That's why it is hard for me to look back at like some of the players out of that Jerry West era and be like, oh, they can be compared in greatness to the guys that played today. Don't get me wrong, they totally can be, because relative to their era, it was just as hard to do what they were doing. But that there's that little bit of deciding factor where I'm like, well, I mean, you put out, you know, you were to like put Jerry West against a Steph Curry, like, who's gonna win that? Like, I can tell you right now, but um, it is that weird thing where people have tough times looking at greatness relative to the era. Myself too, admittedly, but you absolutely got to respect the people who like paved the way in the NBA and were great then too. Mike Kamina saying, okay, hold on, I got to read back for some context here. G-Man saying, I like Scotty Barnes as a point guard with all this talent on the floor. And then Mike Kamina saying, no, Fred and Siakam mentoring Barnes. So I think that, so Fred for sure, even if you are in a situation where Scotty Barnes can play point guard, I'd rather him just like not need to, It doesn't feel like you're in a great situation to make him do it. I mean, it's like, for example, the Mavericks, right? Luka Doncic, he's their point guard. But a lot of people still say that the Mavericks are looking for that true PG to come in, because Luka's the size of a forward, right? Like, I think he was a forward back in no, Lithuania. Where was he from? Slovenia. Like in Europe, he was a forward as well. It's one of those things where even if you have a big guy who can play make, you'd rather him just do that at his natural position. Leave the point guard spot for a more undersized player who's a true floor general. I feel like, yes, you could use Scotty Barnes as a point guard, but the best situation is to have Fred VanVleet out there leading the charge at one, with Scotty Barnes also doing what he does at the four. And I'm also surprised to see him and Pascal Siakam get along so well. That was a pleasant surprise. I knew that they weren't going to dislike each other, but they actually have chemistry on the floor. And so the competition for minutes, like, it doesn't stand out in my head as much because they're complementary and they cheer each other on. So it's like, it's awesome. That's one thing about Masai and Bobby. They found personalities that are going to mesh and fit. Fred VanVleet on the baseline, misses, gets his rebound back, shoots the mid-range, and gets it off the glass, man. He can't miss tonight. Freddie V. Oh my God. Man, the Flames better have worked that time, because Freddie V deserves it. He is heating up. How many points is that for Fred at the moment? Okay, Gary's got 21. You like to see that, but 31 points for Fred VanVleet. So my buddy that bet either Pascal or Fred to get 30, he's cashed out. Let me put on the money for him. I don't know if he's watching this right now, but same guy who gave me that Fred VanVleet first bucket scorer bet, he hit on his gambling line tonight. So shouts out to my buddy Joel. But Fred VanVleet with the ball again. He has just been nuts this game. Shoots the three. If he hits this, misses it. Just misses it. And we got 130 people here. Let's see if my arrow comes up. It doesn't. But if you're in this right now, drop a like, Spike, man. It is always so appreciated. Helps our video get re-recommended. More viewers in here. Just grows the channel. Help me out if you can with a like. It is always appreciated. Is asking me, wait, so Josh, who's your GOAT? Okay, this is like a bit of a loaded answer. The greatest ever of all time for me, it's gotta be Michael Jordan. But the best player to ever pick up a basketball is LeBron James. That's my answer. I think they're two different things. The GOAT and the BOAT. They're different. And because I think greatness incorporates these like notions of, storylines and auras and demeanors and all these things that are like tough to quantify. And I got to give it to Jordan, because that storyline of going six or of the not back to back, but the three-peats and everything he did there, like, that to me is the greatest ever. And especially considering he was like one of the most underrated two-way guys. Like, people forget that Michael Jordan was like the best defender the whole time he was playing too. It's crazy. I well, not the whole time, but during his prime, he had the clamps. And then you can't question his scoring. He was leading the league in scoring most of his years in his prime. So there's just no doubt about Michael Jordan being great. But I just think LeBron James, in terms of versatility, like he kind of made the league positionless in some ways. He can just do everything at such a high level. And I like too that he said, screw it. I'm going to go through my tour of the NBA. And he's won in 3 different teams in a bunch of different locations. He's won Southeast, Northeast, Southwest. Like he's gone all over different conferences, different divisions, different teammates, different coaches, and never mattered because LeBron proved that, when he's living and breathing in the league, the championship goes through him. And I know that, what a great Scottie Barnes. Forget what I'm saying about the history of basketball. I want to watch the now. Scottie Barnes setting up Chris Boucher with another nice assist, flirting with a triple-double, guys. It's going to come down to this fourth quarter to see if he gets it, but that was like a little bit of a delayed no-look. Fred VanVleet misses the deep 3. Chris Boucher gets the rebound. He's been quietly a beast tonight, actually. What's his line at? Chris Boucher currently has 3 points, so not quite beastly in that regard, but I think he's got at least 7 rebounds too. Yeah, so 7 rebounds, and then I think he's got some defensive stats. Yeah, 1 steal and 3 blocks. Quietly doing a great job. And Scotty B finding his center. Chris Boucher misses the first one. That sucks. That's cold, Chris. Come on, hit your free throws. But he's having a good night. I gotta say, the effort is back for Chris Boucher, which is what I was missing the most. Mike Kamina says, "Oh no, here comes the GOAT debate." Yeah, guys, I brought up the greatest point guard of all time last game in the chat. And bro, I did it in like the first quarter. I looked there in the fourth, and Marcel and I can't remember who were still arguing about it. And I almost felt bad for bringing it up because I'm like, guys, like, I'm sure you wanted to watch the game, but this just distracted you the whole time. Spurs getting and 1 bucket. So let's not open this can of worms completely, but I'll leave that in my answer. Jordan GOAT, LeBron boat. I'll leave it there. Oh man, people are updating me on the stats right now. Sen Bimmons as well as Tom Duke. We got 7s across the board for Scottie Barnes. I'm holding out that he can do it, guys. I'm holding out. A triple-double for Scottie. That'd be special, especially as a rookie. I feel like he will do it. Regardless what happens tonight, this year I think he'll end up with a triple-double at some point. But you'd love to see it be tonight. And then Fred VanVleet from half. Yeah, that's a hope and a prayer. Does not go, but we're going into halftime. I did not see the score, but leading by almost 20 points according to the Google scoreboard, 97-80. Raps are doing all the right things, taking care. We're having like momentary lapses, but I mean, that's going to happen in any basketball game. They're taking care of business at home, which was a needed change. So I've been just reviewing the whole entire Raptors box score this whole time. Let me go ahead and look at the Spurs. So Jakob Poeltl, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists. So happy I bet on him to get a double-double. Quietly one of the best centers in the NBA. Don't at me. White, he's got 12, 4, and 2. Jones has 5, 1, and 4. The other notable guys are really just, I thought Keldon Johnson would have more than 6, 4, and 4. Like seriously, I've noticed Keldon Johnson tonight, but only 6 points for him. Maybe a little bit of favoritism there because I did say I like Keldon Johnson, but he's having kind of a quiet night. We've neutralized him. Devin Vassell, he's got 15, 1, and 3. And then Primo, 11, 4, and 2. And Primo's shooting 50% from the floor, 2 of 3 from 3. He's got 2 blocks as well. No turnovers, only 1 personal foul. 19 years old, from Canada. I like this kid. I like him a lot. Might need like a retro Spurs Primo jersey. But we won't talk about that too much for now. We got a fourth quarter to close out here. And I'm seeing in the chat, who's asking me about my ideal starting 5? That's Tom Duke saying, Josh, who should our starting 5 be? I kind of like what Nick Nurse has done. I didn't see the way tonight started, but I would assume it started the same as our last game where we said, screw it, best 5 guys play. We didn't need to address the 5 spot that much. As much as Kem Birch is like the closest thing we have to a natural center, which I thought would maybe sneak him into the starting lineup. No, Nick Nurse just said, we will go with our 5 best players. So Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Scottie Barnes, Pascal Siakam. I know you don't have that center there, but I think that you roll with that small ball lineup until someone demands a change. And I know what people are thinking right now, but we tried small ball early and it kind of bit us. That is true. And then putting in Kem Birch did help. But this is the first time we've had all of our core guys healthy. Even early in the season, we were at like 6-3 and we hadn't had Pascal out there yet. I think that to give it a true fair test, you need your 5 best players out there to really test the small ball. Masai and Bobby were building pretty comfortably around positionless basketball. This is its first actual fair trial. And so far, we're 1-0 with it, maybe coming on 2-0, getting the team back to 500. That's what I'm going to say for my starting 5 right now. I did give a blasphemous take the other day. I said that in a perfect world, taking Pascal Siakam off the bench would be really nice because he could help the bench score more and like bring some defense and energy, and our starters would still be good enough. We don't need to go down that road. It was kind of crazy talk, but I just the amount of Raptors related thoughts and hypotheticals that go through my head in a day is kind of nuts alone. Ooh, OG Anunoby. Got my flames on for that? Apparently not. I'm not allowed, but making a nice mid-range shot there, initiating some contact, getting to his spot and drilling it. Oh, great defense by Chris Boucher. That was unreal defense. That is what I miss from Chris. It won't show up on the stat sheet, but a big play stops the bucket there for the Spurs. And then under the basket, Precious Achiuwa misses, but he's fouled by Vassell, I believe. Or on Keldon Johnson, the foul is charged. But Precious Achiuwa, he'll be shooting 2 here for Toronto. Score is currently 99-81, about to pass the century mark. Ramaz asking, would you trade OG for Cam Reddish in a first? Cam Reddish is such a weird player. Like, in high school, he was sick. He looked like he was going to be a top 5 guy in his class. I think he was ranked like 4th actually in his high school class. So he was. And then he went to Duke with that absolutely loaded Duke team. RJ, Zion, Cam. Who else was on that team? There was a couple other guys that were really notable. Oh, I'm missing some obvious ones right now. But he underperformed at Duke. Still ends up with Atlanta in the NBA. They take a risk on him because of that high school year he had. And he has looked good, but I find when Cam Reddish disappears, he is nowhere to be seen. Like, he has good games, yes, but when he's not playing well, it's like, it's not just ugly, it's terrible. I don't notice him. He plays so off ball sometimes that he can get lost in translation a little bit. And OG Anunoby used to be like that a bit, but he's already developed to the point where I think the Hawks want Cam Reddish to go. And OG's still young enough that I wouldn't make that trade, even though, throwing in a first round is a little enticing. I do think Cam Reddish is good. I just don't feel encouraged to make that trade. I think it would benefit the Hawks more than us. I get Cam Reddish is like a little bit younger, but I would be rolling with OG. Decent question, though. Ooh, EHT in the chat saying healthy Raptors equals ECF. Maybe. Who knows? This is the first time we're seeing healthy Raptors, and we haven't lost with these healthy Raptors yet. The sky is the limit. The words of Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. If you guys are watching this right now, we got 140 people, so drop a like, Spike, show some love. Helps out our channel big time. Leading by over 20 right now, and I think it was, who is this in the chat saying that? Yeah, so Matty Maru's saying Scotty's looking for some dimes. You can tell he is for sure. He's trying to get that triple-double. He's aware of the stat line. OG Anunoby shoots a deep 3, just spills out. That ended up being a nice shot for how far back and contested it was. Doesn't get it. Spurs are coming back. Tyus Jones has it. Or Jones, not Tyus. Jones has it. Shoots it over to Vassell, who gets it down to Keldon Johnson. And an offensive foul. Chris Boucher. Oh my, doing all the little things on the back end to make a difference for this Raptors team. He's playing great right now. Shouts out the Canadian Chris Boucher. That wasn't too aggressive, but still, extension. Didn't really soak a charge, but I think they're calling for the warding arm. Basically a stiff arm there. Creating too much space unnaturally. Raptors end up back with the ball. Throws it to Chris, who shoots the 3. Doesn't get it. Rebounded by Primo. He's going the other way. Primo's got it again. They shoot the 3. He gets it. Who was that? Like, is that? Who is that? I am so bad with the Spurs roster. The poor Spurs, man, they get no coverage in the NBA. I don't know anybody here. Precious Achiuwa cuts the lane, gets a dunk. Little gift there by Pascal Siakam, who sets him up. Flushes for the easy two. I love to see our front court players making smart, unselfish passes to each other. Just a recipe for success. Perfect place for Scotty Barnes to get drafted, honestly. Oh, up the floor to Scotty. Great outlet pass. Gets it to go. OG Anunoby finding him running the floor. Great job. So Scotty's got... He's got to have 10 points now, I believe. I think that was his 10th point. Or sorry, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. He's still on triple-double watch, but we are in the fourth quarter. Things are coming down to the wire. Only 8:40 left. I mean, we're blowing out the Spurs pretty good right now. Just over by 20 points. 106 to 84 the score. I don't know if we're going to take out our reserves soon. That might affect Scotty's chances of getting a triple-double, but it's still possible. I'm keeping faithful, hoping that happens. 3 assists in 8 minutes. Let's see it. Ramaz saying Boucher for Nick Claxton or Naz Reid. Interesting proposal. I would do it for Nick Claxton, yeah. I like Naz Reid too. I don't know as much about him, but I like how young Nick Claxton is. He's kind of close to 7 feet. Pretty similar body build to Boucher, actually, but that'd be interesting. I think that the Nets would probably roll with Claxton because even though Boucher could be an upgrade, he's a little bit of I don't know what to call it, a dice roll a little bit. Boucher at his best is like a top level NBA impact player. At his worst, like unplayable completely. There's such a big spectrum with Boucher there that I don't know if the Nets who are looking to contend would go with it. I mean, it could pay off for them. I do think the Raptors would want Nick Claxton in return if that could happen. Don't see it likely going down, though. It's a little too risky for the Nets. They're trying to win right now. Ramaz says the Raptors need to do this against the Bucks. I'd love to see that. We beat the Bucks last time, but they were without Giannis. And then Ramaz clearing up that Nick Claxton is 6'11", so gets a little closer to helping us out with that need for a 7-footer or something close to. Dunked all over LeBron James the other day. I guess it wasn't a dunk. It was like what Derrick Jones Jr. did that one time where he got so far above the rim that he was able to like throw it downward through the bucket, even though he didn't like grab onto the metal and like dunk it. Either way, either way, Nick Claxton getting a big play over LeBron James there to close out a game a couple days ago. Says it was the best moment of his career so far, and I don't doubt it. Hey, and we got 135 people in here, so if you're watching this, do me a big favor, drop a like spike, and my animations don't work, so that sucks. But if you guys are watching this, drop a like anyways. I'm out here trying. The technical support has not been there tonight. My laptop just shut down on me randomly in the first quarter, which was, I thought that might have ended the whole stream. We kept going, and I appreciate everybody who kept watching with me. You guys are the best. Mike Kamina agreeing that Claxton has good potential. Alex Lee says, our team was built to stop Giannis. Raps W tomorrow. Man, I'll see you guys there. We'll see what goes down. That's somewhere where we missed the 7-footer. That was why we needed a Marc Gasol, was to stand in the paint and build the Giannis wall. I'm sure Nick Nurse has something else up his sleeve in the meantime, but that is one of those, nice little pick off by OG Anunoby. He's played good anticipation defense tonight. That wing to center pass, he loves it. Scotty Barnes. Oh, man. What? Oh, no, Precious. Are you serious? You're robbing Scotty of assists, man. Oh, okay. It ends with an and one, so whatever. But Scotty Barnes got robbed of an assist there. And Precious is smiling. I don't know if he can tell what he just did. Like, blew a wide open dunk. Like, I know when people say wide open, they're like, oh, what was a little... No, it was wide open. Gets the ball back, though, and gets his own... Gets an and one. That's the most Precious Achiuwa thing I've ever seen. Stone hands, but such a high motor. Fumbles the easy shot, but fights for his rebound and finishes through contact. That's so Precious Achiuwa. He can't get the easy thing, but he goes and gets the hard one. His motor paying off again. Unfortunate for Barnes that he won't get the assist. Good physical defense there by Boucher. There we go. Landale or whatever his name is, trying to back down Chris. Does not work out. Chris Boucher standing his ground. Slim duck. On the baseline, presses it, Chua cuts, gets the ball, throws it back out to Barnes. OG shoots the three. That might be an assist for Scotty. OG hits it. My flames don't work. They're stealing my fire. I don't have my flames. And what's going on here? Scotty Barnes making his case to the referee. I was trying to get my flames going and missed, but they foul Primo? Yeah, the extra pass. Wow. From the baseline to the top of the key, OG Anunoby ends up receiving the ball, hitting that down. And yeah, Scotty's at 9, 8, and 8. How much time do we have left? We got 7 minutes, 38 seconds. The score is 112 to 84. He's got a chance to do it. Nick Nurse is the kind of guy that he does not care about, keeping guys out there to do statistical milestones or make all-star cases. If we're blowing a team out, he'll take the guys out and he does the right thing all the time. He's not there for milestones or figures for you to reach. But tonight, I hope he keeps Scotty out there. I hope he changes his way of thinking for one night for my guy, Scotty Barnes. Ooh, Scotty. There we go. 11 points and right on cue. We got Sen Bimmons coming in with his super chat. Oh, man, my animation's got to work. Come on now. There we go. Got it to work. Sen Bimmons saying Barnes 9, 8, and 8. It's happening. Make that 11, 8, and 8. He's on his way, dude. He's on his way. He's been on triple-double watch since the first quarter. I hope it can happen. And that points bet, I completely forgot. I have Scotty Barnes getting 15 points tonight, and that'll cash a plus 450 bet. I hope that can happen. Well, Scotty Barnes getting called for the offensive foul here. Oh, man. 11, 8, and 8, guys. Stay tuned. I mean, triple-double. Maybe you can get 15 points. Maybe all of it happens. Raptors win. Just a bunch of cherries on top if that goes down. But we'll see. Raptors still up big. Oh, that was a nice mid-range. Spurs hit that. Oh, T-Bird Brad saying 13, 8, and 8. What did I miss? Is he about to score? I don't know how my broadcast is somehow behind other television broadcasts. If Scotty scores here, I know that my cable's late. Ooh. OG Anunoby hitting another 3-pointer. Let's go. OG. He's been a little inconsistent this game, but just letting other guys eat and doing his own job. What does he have at the moment? OG's got 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. That's a good game for OG. Oh, that should update to 13 points, actually, in a moment. But OG Anunoby quietly having a pretty nice night. Scotty Barnes trying to direct the offense right now. He's looking everywhere for assists. Back with OG. Loses a handle of the ball, and that's just straight up going back with the Spurs. That's tough. Lost the grip. Mustafa asking, has any other rookie this season have a triple-double? Yes. So Josh Giddey actually became the youngest player in NBA history to record one, passing LaMelo Ball, who set that record last year. And he had a monster triple-double, actually. He had I think it was 17, 13, and 12. He kind of went a little above and beyond with that triple-double, and I think it was in an OKC win as well. Josh Giddey's pretty legit. I think that everyone would agree. They would rather have Josh Giddey than Jalen Suggs, which I would have believed at the draft, but a lot of people might have looked at you pretty crazy for saying that. I don't dislike Jalen Suggs, but it was kind of aggravating how much hype he got over just a random half-court shot in the tournament. And his team was good, but he was the third, fourth best player on that team. I was never too sold on Jalen Suggs, to be real. I'm very happy we have Scotty Barnes. And shout out Josh Giddey, too, having a good season. Champagny hits a 3. That's his third of the game. All right, Flames, you better work right now. You're kidding. That sucks. Justin Champagny deserves his Flames. We have the champagne emojis in the chat right now. CH is throwing those out. Sen Bimmons saying, Justin Champagny, man. He is playing great. I was just raving all of first half of what he was doing off ball. He had hit a couple 3-pointers there, hit another one, and then Delano Banton and Malachi Flynn are in at the moment. But we still got my guy Scotty out there. Nick Nurse is letting him go for that triple-double. Prayers up. Spurs with the ball. Precious Achiuwa playing some hard defense. not getting back down in the post, but fortuitous bounce there for the Spurs. They get the bucket. We got 140 live people watching. If you are in here right now, do me a favor, drop the like spike. You guys are the best. So I'll go through those scores quickly. Oh, Scotty Barnes is coming out. No. No. Oh, so I won't hit the points bet on Scotty, which would have cashed a plus 450 parlay. And we also won't get to see a triple-double. No cherries on top of this victory, but I'm sure there will still be a victory nonetheless. Picked off by Delano Banton. Missed off the glass, but Justin Champagnie following up and getting it up onto the glass again, getting the putback bucket. Wow, Justin Champagnie has quick hands. When he goes up, he can go up, get a rebound, and finish all in one motion. I know it sounds easy, but in the heat of the moment, it's easy to overthink. And oh my God, 4th three-pointer in a row. You're freaking kidding me, man. Oh my God. Oh, this thing is so broken right now. But I got the flames on for my guy, Justin Champagnie. 4 three-pointers this game. A couple other buckets. Hard defense. Off-ball movement. Everything you could ask of the rookie, he is doing right now. My God. Undrafted. Another undrafted gem. And here he is. Champagnie with the ball again. Kicks it out to Bonga. Shoots the three. Misses. Playmaking too. I mean, Bonga misses that, but he got him a wide open look in the corner. Primo goes hard to the bucket, gets blocked by Bonga, but he is fouled. And we got a super chat. Sorry, I kind of flew over my head there for a second. We got my guy Paul Blunt. Why is the super chat not working? I'm determined to make this thing work. There we go. Super chat animation on. He said, hail chat, hail Joshy Ice, hail to the win, man. I appreciate you, Paul Blunt. This is a good Raptors stream at the moment. I mean, it's been a lot of fun, start to finish. The Raptors have been in the driver's seat. The rookies are playing well. Overall, just everything you want to see. Justin Champagnie, 14 points, 4 of 4 from 3. Did he say he's only played like 10 minutes? That's crazy. If that's 10 minutes, 3 rebounds to go with that. 4 of 4 from 3, and he's got a block as well. Man, shouts out Paul Blunt, taking in this amazing game with us. Another legend in the chat. Appreciate the super chat, and what a game this has been. Delano Banton's got the ball right now. Let's see if we can get some more rookie magic. Nice little floater. Sean Livingston Jr., a.k.a. Delano Banton, getting the bucket. Who is this guy? Man, the Spurs got a lot of tall white guys that I do not know. 34 and 14 and 15. Wow. I do not know these guys. I feel like such a casual right now. They missed the deep 3, rebounded by Achua. He's also, man, there really hasn't been anyone who's had a really bad game. OG's been kind of inefficient, but even he's had his moments, and he's been pretty locked in on defense too. Spurs come the other way in transition. Long Euro steps, bounding down the court. Number 15 scores that. Who is that? It's not Landale. That's the other guy I was looking at. I'm not sure, guys, but Raptors back with the ball. Malachi Flynn misses the deep 3, and it's rebounded by the Spurs. And Ash G saying, high IQ play by Precious. Achu is having, again, like I said, a sneaky good night. His instincts are good. The motor's good. It's just those brick hands. Tom Moreau and I talk about it all the time. He's got stone hands. But when you got a motor like that, an IQ like that, athleticism like that, when you got it like that, he'll figure it out. I'm not too worried. I'm just Josh and you saying we still should have went with Decker over Bonga. That's an interesting argument. I mean, 127 to 100, the current score. There's about a minute 30 left in this game. Dominant. No other word to cap off how the Raptors have been playing over these Spurs tonight. The one thing I do agree with you there on is just that I don't think the 11th, 12th guy on this roster is really going to see much floor. And what I do like about Decker is guys really love them. You can tell when there's a player who comes in and kind of like wins people over, it's apparent. Like, of course, they play it up a little bit through social media to show you how good of a teammate he is, but you could get the vibe from a bunch of people. And then even in his departing post that Decker was like taken in by this Raptors group and really loved. And I'm not saying Bonga isn't. I think Don Bonga definitely is. But for players that might not be getting out there much, I would rather have Decker on the bench, you know? But I think it came down more between Decker and who's that? Oh man, why am I blanking on his name? Oh, he was a Nigerian player, went to Oregon. Why am I blanking on his name? Next PJ Tucker. I got like short-term memory loss or something, guys. Why am I blanking on this? It was he shoots threes, looks like he could wrestle a lion. I think he's with OKC now, or maybe it was Houston. I'm just waiting for someone to say in the chat. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. It's got to come back to me. It's got to come back to me. Man, they said he was the next PJ Tucker. We cut him and everyone got so mad. No, it wasn't Perry. Tom Duke's saying it's Perry. Who was it? It was Ish. Yeah, it was Ishmael. Ishmael Wainwright. Correct. I can't believe I blanked on that for so long there. It's one of those ones where you forget and then you're like, oh man, I'm freezing up. I'm freezing up. And it just deletes right out of your memory. No hope in hell. But Ishmael Wainwright is the guy we're talking about. Yeah, people were mad about that at first. And then Decker ultimately leaves, I guess, for Bonga. But Decker is like a quality personality. I kind of get that they wanted Bonga's length, but at the end of the day, you're still not using him in like key situations. So yeah, maybe I would rather have Decker on the bench. Plus, he's low key like a Matt Thomas type shooter. Some upside there too. But wishing those guys the best wherever they end up in the NBA. And here we got Pain Causing Samurai, one of the best names on YouTube. Let me get you this animation here. Super chatting, saying, hate to say it, but Pascal has better chemistry with Fred than he ever did with Kyle. Excited to see them play together in the coming years. Pain Causing Samurai, I love that comment because those two won together. And when I say won together, I don't mean an NBA championship. I mean a G League championship. They have such like long running rapport. They came up together. They're the exact same age. Like the chemistry is so ingrained between those two. It makes sense to me why that would be the case. I won't lie. I miss watching Serge Ibaka and Kyle Lowry operate out there. That's some of the cleanest chemistry I've seen on our team. But for a 1-2 punch being Siakam and Fred with chemistry, that is good. I just want to see them run the pick and roll a little bit more. We don't really have anyone that does that. Another reason why I miss Serge and I'm thinking of him. But yeah, shouts out to Pain Causing Samurai. Appreciate your super chat. And there's no doubt about it. Van Vliet and Siakam are balling out. The 905 is proud right now. Achua explodes to the rim for the dunk, but just misses. He is fouled, however, and will be shooting at the free throw line. A-Cat saying, Achua, come on. What the actual? Jeremy W. is asking, Josh, thoughts on Bol Bol? I was hoping the Raps would get him in his draft year. I like Bol Bol a lot. He can, like, it's weird. I don't know why he isn't a big name yet, why he isn't playing frequently for Denver. I know Denver's like sneakily one of the deepest rosters in the NBA, but this guy, like, I've even seen videos of him in practice in the NBA just going 3 for 3 for 3 for 3. And when I say 3 for 3, I mean he's pulling up from beyond the arc a bunch of times in a row and no one can stop him. He's getting crazy blocks. Like, he is the definition of a unicorn. I like him, to answer that question a lot. I like him a lot. I think even though he doesn't play a whole ton in Denver, he still is going to come at a big asking price because they know his potential. I think he's probably been playing a little bit more with MPJ out. But still, you get what I'm saying. Like, a lot of different places, he'd already be kind of like, I don't want to say a franchise piece, but someone you're trying to build into that. I think he would be great on the Raptors. I just think that they're going to ask for a fair bit to let him go. Who knows, though? I think that if Jamal Murray still isn't healthy for playoffs this year, maybe they would be, like, who would we even send, though? I think they still need a point guard. Like, I mean, very clearly they need a point guard. I don't think we can help them with that, actually. I don't think they're interested in Malachi Flynn or Delano Banton. They're going to want Fred VanVleet, and we're not giving that up to get Bol Bol back. But it is tempting. I do love Bol Bol. Jason's under the scope saying Bol Bol is inconsistent on defense. I could see that. I mean, he goes for blocks a lot, and even though he gets them, as a young player who kind of hunts those sort of plays down, you got to gamble a little bit. That's what people say about Gary Trent Jr. too. Yeah, he gets a lot of steals, but he's constantly gambling and putting himself in a position trying to get steals. I could see the same being true for Bol Bol to a certain extent. Still a menace out there on defense, I think. Or at least someone you can build up into that. Here we go, guys. It is winding down right now at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Canada, Ontario. Said that in reverse order, but 129 to 104 the score. The clock will expire with the ball in the hands of Malachi Flynn. This has been a great game, guys. I'm going to go ahead and recap the points quickly. We just missed our bet. My guy Jacoperto delivered a big-time double-double, like a monster double-double, actually. But Scotty Barnes was halted at, I believe, 11 points. Flirted with the triple-double. I mean, he flirted with it hard, but did not get it. But here we go. OG Anunoby, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Sneaky good night. At times, he kind of disappeared a little bit, but I mean, you end up with a stat line like that, playing good defense too. He had 2 steals, only 1 turnover, only 1 personal foul too. OG was solid. 21 points for Gary Trent Jr., 0 rebounds, 3 assists, 8 of 16, so he was 50% from the floor, 3 of 9 from 3, 2 steals. Again, good night for Gary. A little bit of that, the rebound that we really wanted to see from him. One of our best natural offensive players. I love Gary Trent Jr. 11 points for Scotty, 9 rebounds, 8 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 of 2. Oh, sorry, that's C. Hackham. 0 of 2 from the three-point range for Scotty, but he also had a steal on the block. Good stuff from the rookie. And Sen Bimmons giving me a super chat again here. Oh my God, these animations. I will have this figured out, folks. I apologize, but Sen Bimmons saying, see you tomorrow, boss. Sen Bimmons, I will see you then. And the rest of you, I will see you then as well. It's been a lot of fun on live stream. I mean, I have so much fun doing this with you guys. You guys are really the best. And I will have the call-in feature set up tomorrow for people to call in, give their 2 cents on the game. We'll do it through Instagram. We'll get to that. We'll get that to that in a moment. But at Josh D. Goodwin, send me a follow if you guys want, and I'll be taking some call-ins through my mailbox at half, and as well as I'll have the live stream chat coming through on the screen. We're going Twitch up in here, going professional. So those changes are coming. I've promised you guys I will make them for tomorrow, and I will deliver on that. I'm excited to see the game against the Bucks. So we'll build a new Giannis wall without Marcus. I'll see what it's made of. But to cap off the box score again, I was just explaining Scotty's line. 18 points for Pascal, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. This guy has been going monster double-double after monster double-double for a few games now. And I forget to mention this, but we're at 500 again. We are about to maybe enter a span where we can play winning basketball. I mean, we've won as much as we've lost with games like OKC in the mix, or that one Cleveland game where it was like, we lost at the free throw line by Darius Garland in the last few seconds, and everyone knows we got robbed against OKC. Justin Champagnie just running out of time for that putback bucket. We could be a winning team right now. The fact that we're not is what it is. I mean, we'll take lucky bounces when they come our way too, but there's good things in the future for this group. Let's not panic yet. Keep the kazoo away. And then Fred VanVleet, a monster 33, 2 and 7. He was 12 of 13 from the floor, 7 of 14, a sick 50% from 3 there, and just shooting heavy quantity. And he had 1 turnover, and let me see. Sorry, no turnovers and only 1 personal foul. Fred VanVleet, efficient in every way you can define the term. And then also Chris Boucher, he had a good night. Only 4 points, 7 rebounds. I think he had some good defensive stats. 2 steals, 2 blocks. Good game for Chris. And then Kevin Birch, 2 and 7. Another sort of quiet night for him. But one steal, 3 blocks for Kem. And then Precious Achiuwa, 10, 4 and 1. And then Justin Champagnie. This is the guy I really need to talk about. 13 minutes, 14 points, 3 rebounds, no assists, but he was 5 of 6 from the floor, 4 of 5 from three-point range, and he had a block, did not turn over the ball once, and only picked up 1 personal foul. Bruh, he's sick. People were already talking about how he was going to be like one of these hidden gems in the draft. I saw videos on it before. I think Treese even posted one. But he was supposed to be a hidden gem in this draft. Didn't get drafted. He's got chip on his shoulder. Ends up with Toronto. Apparently the first team he wanted to go sign with. And then, the reputation we have with what we do with undrafted players. Fred VanVleet dropping a hot 33 in front of you tonight. But Justin Champagnie trying to follow in those undrafted footsteps, coming here, getting on his workhorse. Yes, it's been a slow start to the season for him, but the playing time is rolling in. Ever since that OKC game where he missed that last-minute putback bucket, and he had a good game to go with it, ever since that point, Nick Nurse has been a lot more willing to go to him in early situations and give him a bit of leash. And I've been very happy to see that. He's kind of stolen Delano Banton's minutes a little bit, but it's working out. The Raptors are winning, and he looks great. So I got to give a shout out there to Justin Champagny, the Champagny Poppy, and the six. And that home record is slowly improving. I'm very happy right now. If you guys are watching this at the moment, do me one last big favor before we all tune off. Drop a like. We are trying so hard at Raptors Digest here to really take this brand to the next level. So, likes, re-recommends, comments, any kind of interaction you guys do with the video helps us out big time. I mean, you guys can call me an idiot in the comments for all I care. It helps. All of it helps. So you guys are the best. You make this production happen. I'm sorry for the technical issues early on. Hopefully those won't pop up next game, and I will have those added features for the next stream tomorrow versus the Bucks. You guys don't want to miss it. Make sure to watch Ben and Riker's post game, and in the meantime, I'm signing off.